Hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I order all those assembled to immediately disperse. You may be arrested and/or subject to other police. The use of riot control agents, which could cause risk of injury to those who remain.
Alright, and we're back from the Facebook fuckery.
Alright, Facebook, quit fucking with us.
Zuckerberg, what are you doing tonight?
Come on, man.
Are you watching our show?
I mean, I thought this guy was on our side. Isn't he holding that sign?
Yeah, he's holding all sorts of signs. So, we're live. So where were we? We were,
Being healthy.
what the fuck? Being healthy, eating right. That's right. Exercising, outside breathing, meditation. You guys meditate? I like to meditate.
Yeah?
Meditation is good. You know, I got myself this field, right? I can go sit in this field. I can just see the horizon the whole way around me. It's round, by the way. It's I can see the stars and I can see the moon. You know, all that. You just sort of sit there and you just look up. You lay down, check out the stars. That's a good vibe. You can feel that shit.
I think
Try
a
it,
lot
meditate.
of people, they seen like, you know, shows and movies, meditating is like really crazy, but no, you go out there, you find a quiet place, you know, just,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
You
just,
find your peace.
yeah, find peace.
That's right.
Just think about good stuff, clear your mind as much as you can.
The last time we had an aurora borealis, I went all the way up to the tallest peak I could find out in my backyard. I live like in the mountains, so I have mountains and shit.
That sounds awesome.
And I went up as high as I could go, and I could see pretty much the whole state of Oregon. Probably not. I felt like it. And all you could see is the stars, and the aurora borealis just kind of just ever so lightly up, you know, up to the north. I liked it. It's freezing though. It's like 15 degrees outside. But it looked nice.
That was crazy when we first got to Standing Rock before all the DAPL lights came on. You could actually see the northern lights up there. Right above the Cannonball River, you could see it. It was beautiful. It wasn't nothing like you would see in Alaska or nothing like that. It was just barely, and it was faint. It wasn't really vibrant like the colors. But it was still there, and it was a wonderful experience.
That's the same with Oregon. You couldn't see it, but you could see it kind of glowing over the horizon. Did anybody catch that, the eclipse?
No, I didn't.
I missed that. I didn't know about it till it was too late.
They call there's an eclipse, and you're like, oh, I was at work again.
We had clouds and rain. There was no eclipse for me. Damn it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it was not very glorious, really. Eventually, I got to see the moon, but it was already too late. The moon was nice. Big old bright full moon.
Yeah.
I like to draw energy from the moon. It's kind of my thing. You know, being as I'm a wolf and all, I howl at the moon on a regular basis.
Turn into a werewolf.
That's what's up.
Walk outside, see you howling at the moon.
Oh man, I got the coyotes going the other day. Right. Neighbors like, what the fuck's the guy doing next door? It's always cool though, like I said, too, when the coyotes howl back. You know, you get out there howling, you get the neighbor dogs howling. Next thing you know, you got the coyotes howling.
Hell yeah.
That's always
I got
good to hear.
I got a lot of owls around here, man. You can call those motherfuckers right up to your back door.
Dude, my phone is blowing up like a motherfucker.
I know, mine too.
Off the hook.
Oh my god.
Every time we
God,
do.
guys. Comments are
Yeah.
going nuts.
Oh my
Fuck.
One after another.
At least we don't have to hear the vibrating this time.
I got a
Yeah, we
headset.
are anonymous.
It's on pleasure mode. Why have you do that?
While you're talking, let's give you some pleasure. Get you comfy out here. Sit you down with a glass of wine and some vibrations. Yeah.
One thing that stinks about doing this stuff is your phone, all your devices just get so slow.
Okay, so we're talking a
Yeah.
little bit about organization in the back room. So what was our next subject? What were we going to talk about?
Let's see what we haven't run through yet.
Oh, revolution!
Ooh.
Revolution.
Do
Resisting,
it.
rising
Viva
up.
la revolution!
So yeah, are we ready to set the example or what? Show the world what it looks like?
Heck
Well,
yeah.
I've become convinced that it's probably going to have to be anonymous that sparks it off.
Oh, we gotta take it from this George Soros guy first. He's gotta quit paying people to break shit. And then once we get those guys out of there, we
Oh,
can
we
jump
just
in
got
there.
a lot of viewers after we're talking about revolution.
Revolution.
Sound back on. We've got to put
I
the sound
think
back on.
I think you said George Soros, and that's what triggered it.
George Soros, though, that guy in his stupid fucking ad. Hey, come protest for money. So what did he say? $17 an hour for 70 hours a week
Oh
or
yeah,
some
so
shit?
you know what's funny is I don't want to put an anonymous faction on block due to a bad administrator, but you know an anonymous comment to me and you know I was spotting the ads on Craigslist during the elections. You know that
Yeah.
you know these people were getting paid. Some of them were getting paid $15 an hour to protest and a week, and we saw this in Ferguson too as well. And I don't want to name any. I don't want to put anybody on blast, but I think what we're all getting at, you know, is that George Soros is notoriously done this.
Fucking arsehole.
Well, yeah, he hasn't done it in this country. I believe he did it in. Didn't he do it in the Ukraine as well?
Yeah, he did do stuff in Ukraine, but a lot of what is being said about him in America, I have honestly found no proof that follows through.
Oh, what about all those buses that we found in? Oh yeah, you don't want to just go mad
Oh,
about it.
I mean,
I seen the
Somebody had
ad
to
on
pay for those
Craigslist.
fucking buses.
like I
sorry,
said
they were
last
lined
night,
all the way up and down the city.
well, I mean, that doesn't mean that they were paid to be there. People just took pictures of buses. Like I told you guys last night, as a joke, I did the same thing in D.C. on a bunch of Trump supporters around a bunch of buses and took a picture and posted it on the Facebook page as Trump supporters being bussed in for the inauguration, and people were all oh shit. And it wasn't true. It was just fucking tourists out on the side of the road standing by fucking buses. They probably weren't even there for any kind of protest action.
But he is guilty of market manipulation, though.
Oh, yeah, he's guilty of a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff we can say about him. But a lot of the stuff that's being said right now, like, I just can't find any truth to it at all. You know, the getting paid stuff, everything that we've been able to follow through with has been more like campaign actions.
Well, yeah, you know, when they investigated that one company that was supposedly tied to George Soros, that Venezuelan voting company, there was actually, I don't think there was any like validation to that story at all.
Gotta do your background research, man.
A lot
All
of
that
you
fake news
guys,
shit.
a lot of you guys probably are familiar with the Fifth Column, the news outlet.
No.
Okay, well, this is run by an activist. He's a pretty legit guy, but he put out a bounty of over $5,000, offering solid proof of George Soros paying street level protesters. And this bounty went unclaimed. Like, there was nothing that could be verified on it.
Wow, okay.
Is one of our
Okay.
admins like having a really funny laugh at her post? There.
What?
What's that
Now?
mask?
What's going? Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, I couldn't make out what he was saying, so I have no idea.
It's okay. They're having fun.
Okay. It's getting big.
I don't know. I think everything's. I'm losing signal with you guys over here. Like, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can.
So when we talk
Pretty
about the
clear.
revolution, right? All right. So
Oh, revolution.
yeah,
Basically,
revolution.
if you gave a guy a gun, if you give a guy a gun, he can go to a bank and rob a bank. If you give a guy a bank, watch him rob the world. That's what I think. That's how it works. I think that's how they take all the money off us and stuff through the banks.
Yeah, you're cutting out on me. Fuck.
Yeah, I think he's got pretty bad signal. He was saying.
Well,
Ed.
in realistically, terms, the way I would love for it to go down, is a peaceful revolution, but that's literally not how it's gonna go down.
It's a good stretch. It needs to be kind of.
It's
But
a
the way
fairy
the
tale
powers,
at this point.
the power struggle, and they will fight tooth and nail. Violence is what they're going to fight back with.
Well, put it this way, if it's gonna be a revolution, let it be one of blood, right? That's the only way to get shit done. But if we could do it peacefully without causing any damage, like Romania, the world will see that as a sign, and they will rise up in our shadow, and they'll step up to their regime, and they'll take back what's theirs. If we can do it peacefully, the whole world will do it peacefully.
Here's the problem with America, though.
What, Trump's our president?
We are, well, there's a lot of problems with America, but like world police, we are enforcing this global empire everywhere.
Right.
We can't have a revolution,
Power and money.
or it's going to fall apart all over the world. If we revolt and overthrow our government, they cannot withhold this empire anywhere, so they have to keep us under their thumb.
Well, if you study, I was going to put this essay out there. I think some of our viewers might be familiar with it. It's called "The Fate of Empire and a Survival Guide." This was this guy who wrote a bunch of. He wrote it's like a 15-page essay, and he studied the life of empires and how they all fall, and exactly what's going on in this country is what's going on, and we're actually towards the latter stage of the American Empire. And we're doing now is essentially what the Roman Empire had done. They grew big. They had all of these bases and all over the fucking place, and they fucking fell to the locals.
Well, look, people get pissed eventually, they get sick of getting leftover scraps. Eventually, they're going to want more, You see your leaders, we'll use leaders in this case, your masters, the puppet masters. You see them out there with their money, their big castles. You see them out there, whatever the fuck they want, they have it. And then you're out there breaking your back. You're out there sweating, blood, sweat, and tears, trying to get a paycheck just to feed your family, And a lot of people, they fall. They try so hard and they still fall. They lose it all. They lose their kids, and then they lose their house. They lose their dog, their wife, their fucking, and they're breaking their back for that shit. And that people get fed up with it. A lot of homeless people, they just are down on their luck. And when the world sees that going on around them, it's just a matter of time till they get fed up and they take it back.
Hello?
Hello? Can you guys, what's going on?
Oh yeah, no. I'm trying to look up the fate of empires. Hold on, I'm looking at the last.
Love, they will respect you. If you rule with fear, they will disgrace you. They'll take your.
No, this is why I don't buy into the make America great again, is because it's history is over and over and over again. You can't revamp a broken system.
We will fall.
Yes.
It's a matter of time.
Because the age of decadence is marked by defensivism, pessimism, materialism, frivolity, the influx of foreigners, a welfare state, and then a weakened religion. But that wasn't the major thing that he was getting at. I don't agree with all of this guy's stuff.
You gotta be careful what you read.
Yeah, the age of decadence is due to too long of a period of wealth and power, selfishness, a love of money, and a loss of sense of duty. And that's exactly what we're seeing right here in America. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. It's nailed it on the spot.
This guy studied empires for like the... I don't know, dude, how far does this guy even go? This thing was written in the turn of the century.
Oh, that's an old one, huh?
Yeah, it was written in like 19... This one's copyrighted in 1977, but I believe it's...
Is he still alive and writing?
I think, no, it's written by Sir John Glubb.
Oh, okay. Well, depending on how much time. You probably know who you're talking about.
Yeah, this guy worked for... Yeah, he goes all the way to the Assyrian Empire.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's deep. You've been researching that shit for a minute.
Guys, I want to bring something up. Guys, what's your take on ISIS, man? What do you think about ISIS? Do you think it's like government created, or do you think they seriously are just some sick fucks?
What was that again?
Our opinion on what?
On ISIS.
I don't think anyone can make out what you're saying, man.
Resist?
No, man, ISIS.
Oh, exist? Fuck it.
We're having some bad audio connection.
Yeah, it's cutting out and fuzzy.
Sorry about it, boys.
Between the mask and the breaking up.
I said, is this? Is this?
Is this? I don't believe I know what that is, my friend.
Is this is in the terrorists?
Oh, ISIS.
Yeah.
ISIS.
Yeah.
All right, ISIS. Okay.
Didn't the ISIS come out of the Wahhabism, right?
We paid for it. Those are trained
Yeah, that's what
trained soldiers of the United States.
Yeah.
When weren't they originally at one point the Mujahideen, and given them the CIA was training them at one point, right?
Yeah, they're trained by the CIA. They're paid for by our government. They were created as a counter-terrorism to whatever it was that they were trying to get in at, and they trained them.
Oh.
And it flipped on them completely, and they turned terrorist on us, and we lost control of them. You know, they have all of our weapons. They've been trained by our CIA. That's why Putin's been trying to tell everybody, you know, he's been trying to fight back. He blames us for that shit.
Yeah, didn't Hillary Clinton's secretary, she admitted that the American government funded ISIS, and then they regretted it. That's what I seen somewhere.
Right.
So
if you go back to where the video is, where his head cut off on TV or whatever, if you zoom into that shot, the tattoo on his forearm is a skull and gray. That's United States Army infantry tattoo.
Yeah.
They brought about ISIS so that
they are trained mercenaries.
They wanted us to go racist. They wanted us to turn against Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Hence the ban right now. We're in the ban, you know? It's just one big, long, drawn-out story. All to make it one nation.
The Obama administration, he said the training of ISIL was going according to plan. Before it was called ISIS, it was called ISIL.
ISIL, yeah.
Yep, I saw.
Well, they changed to ISIS so they could, you know, take on the name of the Egyptian goddess. That was kind of.
Yeah.
And then they didn't we catch them destroying? They were destroying stuff in religious. Well, they weren't religious, but they were historical monuments. They were blowing them up and getting jackhammers and shit. We'll never get that shit back.
Do you know the thing I find strange about ISIS is the fact they destroyed the Middle East, but they didn't touch Israel.
That's
They didn't
exactly.
touch
That is
Israel.
always a controversial subject.
Oh yeah, getting a Zionist now.
Zionists.
Yeah, fucking Zionist, man.
What is your takes on the posts of people saying, that the execution up, or there was one of them that was
Like they did it on a green screen?
Jihadist John.
Yeah.
Jihadist John was fake.
There was a leaked video from hackers that came from one of John McCain's staffers' cell phones that had a video of the setup.
Yeah, it was in a green room.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that I don't even know if a lot of people are aware of this, right? And this goes all the way back to the Al Qaeda shit.
Yeah,
And
man.
all of this stemmed out of a court case back in 1998 with a guy who was kind of like a nobody, right? And he got caught with some fucking dirt and went to courts. And this guy basically made up a bunch of shit in court. Even the prosecuting, people in the Worm case were thinking that the guy was lying in court, and he basically made up this false terrorist organization with these cells that were everywhere. He put a name to the face. This Osama bin Laden at all, and we offered him, it was a deal that had come out in diplomatic immunity protection program. And then when Osama bin Laden was hearing about Al Qaeda, he was just kind of like looking around, like, "What the fuck is Al Qaeda?"
Right? Because Osama bin Laden.
Because it didn't exist. It didn't exist. They even had when they sent over the British Army looking around for military bases in the middle of fucks nowhere, and you know what? Because Al Qaeda didn't exist. All you were dealing with is the rebel fighters dealing with the foreign invaders.
Yeah, because if
Basically, it was like
they would have been a hell of a lot more of a formative opponent than they simply were. The Taliban were combat-hardened veterans that had Russians out of Afghanistan. Of course, they used some of our weaponry that we gave them.
And
they were like a tool for the New World Order.
Who?
I said, do you think ISIS was like a tool for the New World Order?
Most definitely.
Yes, it makes everybody afraid to say hi to a Muslim, so obviously it's a good tool for them.
How should I say this nicely? I was talking to a guy, and you know me, I'm always focused around money and where the money source is coming from. When you talk about ISIS and the weapons that they have, always think about that somebody's paying for their weapons.
They're coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got quite good car deals, didn't they? They look quite American cars.
Well,
Yeah, they got Toyotas, right?
Right? Biggest country in the world, strongest military, but we can't take down a caravan of Toyotas. Kind of shit. Come on, guys. Sorry, I don't.
Fucking class. Who said that?
That was me. Good old Arthur Wolf being a fool.
Story on Osama bin Laden too.
Well, Bin Laden, what's really weird is that he was there were different videos that were floating around, and there was a rumor that Bin Laden was actually dead for a while. And you know what's really weird is that they had a Navy SEAL team come in like a retirement community in Pakistan, take him in the middle of the night, said that they had killed him and dropped off his body in like Antarctica. End of story. You
Yeah,
know
they
how many
dumped it off.
you know, yeah. Oh yeah, like we're supposed to fucking believe it's just like 9/11. Okay.
Didn't they wreck a helicopter?
People wanted to see his body, and they were like,
Yeah, and then
"Oh,
Superman was
we
flying
dumped
around,
him
and
at sea."
unicorns, and leprechauns, were around, and
All
like it's
meanwhile,
fucking
Osama bin
bullshit.
Laden never even woke up.
You're
Lay there and
fighting a
slept.
guy. Okay, we were scared. The United States government was afraid of a guy who's on kidney dialysis, living in a fucking cave, and he wasn't even aware of what Al Qaeda was in the first place.
That's why he was
No.
hiding in the cave. He was scared.
He's
Poor
just
guy.
fucking shitting himself.
Yeah, that
my God.
rumor has it he's just sitting back on a beach now, drinking a beer, not giving a fuck. That's
No,
what I think.
honestly, I think he was dead for years.
You think he's dead? I think he's alive.
YouTube.
Just like
I think he's
Tupac.
been dead for
Well, we could
years.
go back to 9/11.
Oh, we're
There you
getting a
go.
lot
They
of
set him
comments
up
on
with
what I'm talking
9/11,
about.
didn't they?
That's funny because back a couple of years ago, I seen this YouTube video where it was in the national news. The lady was sitting there saying that Osama bin Laden had been shot in the head. And this was like back in 1996 or 1997 when this person, Osama bin Laden, was supposed to be shot in the head. You know? And if you look at the official report and the stories and the pictures that they came out with Osama bin Laden, and you look at Kuwait Hussein, if you cross-reference the pictures and take the face out of there, the same body and the same incisions for the autopsy and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, Bin Laden, he's been around raising hell for a minute. Why?
What? I don't know. I just don't buy into a lot of it. It's almost as though they're giving a lot more power to. How should I say? You ever hear about that FBI case in New York where the FBI was antagonizing these immigrants who had mental disabilities and were telling them to commit mass terrorism, and then they arrested them, and it was like a case that kind of popped up and disappeared.
I think I heard about that. Yeah, they were convincing people
Yeah.
to go out there and do it, and like they were mentally ill, so they thought they were doing the right thing, and then like
They
they just turned around
didn't.
and arrested
These guys were literally. They wouldn't have known if they were doing the wrong thing.
them. No, I mean they're probably high on acid. That's what they're thinking. Thought they were shooting water guns at flowers.
There's a lot of psych ops going around, and like I was talking before, made in war. When you have a country in a constant state of fear of an invisible enemy, and I'm not saying that we don't have. I'm not saying that there aren't real dangerous people that are going to create mass acts of terrorism. Because there are real people out there.
But the government has those people in check. Those aren't a threat.
They want those
Yeah.
7 virgins.
That's what the NSA is for. The NSA's job is to prevent that. If they're not doing that, then what the fuck are they for?
Right? I mean, I'm sure we're on a government watch list. Why wouldn't they be?
And you know what's funny is that when Bush was talking about these terrorist cells in here in America, a lot of these one of the cases was dropped on a guy, okay, and they said that it was an air landing strip and this and that. What they had investigated on this guy was done by a guy who had schizophrenia, dude, and he also thought he was the minister of defense of a foreign country. It was a bunch of fucking crazy drawings. That's how
Poor
fucking
guy.
nuts our government is. And they also thought that a video of a guy going to Disneyland was it's just a bunch of families, just going to Disneyland, and they thought that it was places that they were gonna put bombs and shit and snipers. I'm just like, no, it's a fucking video of people going to Disneyland.
Going to Disneyland to go plant some bombs. Okay.
Oh my god, we got a lot of comments out of that.
Tyler.
ISIS, Bin Laden, Al Qaeda, All America, NATO, UK, Israel, all the big game, divide and conquer, order from chaos.
Yep. What's your take
Order
on
from
9/11,
chaos.
guys?
All I gotta say is to our
You want to
viewers,
talk about 9/11?
Yeah,
read
definitely.
1984.
One thing that's always surprised me about all this is like I got some flack not too long ago when people were talking to me about being over in Iraq, and I told them that we used what they call white phosphorus. And they pulled up a Google page and was like, "Oh, that's against the Geneva Conventions." Okay, well, blame me for that. My bad. But also blame the companies that made millions of dollars making this stuff and then shipping it, and nobody batted an eye.
Did, guys, did anyone remember the 1995 Illuminati Jackson card? Was the 9/11 on that?
Some must be on a car.
No,
There we
no,
go.
I'm in the city.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
Tyler.
Getting crazy.
Obviously.
It was
You must be in the
a
hood.
set of Illuminati playing cards.
Oh yeah. I have seen your post about that. I'm kind of unsure what it's all about.
Right. I'm not too familiar.
Tyler, I heard you
Enlighten us, my
mention
friend.
1984.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good book.
Almost like we're involved with the with the how should I say lightly? I don't even know my way of going about it. Our government portrays an enemy that really doesn't exist. I mean, there are really bad. There are really bad people out there. Yeah, they're fear mongering.
Yeah, they want us to think they're an enemy, so our citizens are in fear at all times. The Muslims are the
It's a
enemy right now.
psyop.
They're trying to trick everybody into thinking that every Muslim's a terrorist, every Muslim's gonna kill you, every Muslim has a bomb on their chest, and everybody knows that that's not true, but that's what the news is trying to push on right now. And it's just like with 9/11, it was just a bust to get us to go to war over some oil, put some money in our pockets, line our shit with gold. They use the fear mongering of whomever the bad guy's going to be, whether it be Russia, like Russia right now, they're the bad guy with the elections, Oh, they hacked the elections. We're going to go to war with Russia, all this
Well,
crap.
remember what they did with the communists?
That's a bunch of bullshit. Russia
remember
didn't
the
hack the elections.
Right? No,
Yeah,
of course
when our
not.
government made a big shit about communism and all these spies, and the whole time Russia was in a state of collapse. That was the reality of it.
Right? They're just catching flack.
It's always like there's always another country that has to be our enemy. There's always one country that always has to be doing something wrong.
Peace doesn't make money, my friend.
Well,
I
and
remember when I
has
was
anybody discovered the fact or really promoted the fact that all these people that we're trying to propagate fear with and fight with are the only people that don't have a central bank left in the world? Because you're talking about money and following the money, but if you follow the money back, everybody that we want to go to war with or we have some sort of fight with, they don't have a central bank.
It's funny you even talk about that. When we went to Afghanistan, Joe Rogan was kind of talking about this a lot. That we guarding lithium and the poppy fields, and there's a hell of a lot of heroin that comes out of fucking Afghanistan.
Oh yeah, that's where most of it's coming from. Our military shipping it in crates and shit across the border.
If you look at the fact that the Taliban were like ultimately religious and very strict, they were killing off all the poppy farmers. So we go in there and kill the Taliban, and the poppy farmers come back and grow more than they could before, because now all of their neighbors are dead, so they can farm on that land too.
So, yeah.
That's blown up.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. That's why I was being quiet. I was like, oh, what's all this? I try not to look because then it pulls me
I just
aside.
seen the comment. comments are going nuts. Fucking mad.
Trying to keep up with what's going on.
People are going loose in the comments.
What are they doing?
Right then. Tyler,
What's going on?
Oh,
what's your take on aliens, dude?
What?
What's your take on aliens?
oh gosh.
Are we gonna talk about aliens right now? Can we do this for real?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm dead. I was gonna bring it up, but I didn't want to be the guy.
All right. So there was a guy. My friend's a big believer in the alien field. I'm always like on the wall about it. I have seen some strange things, but I can't verify
Dude.
it. And
Yeah,
but you know, there was this guy that had he was a surgeon, and he was collecting all of these implants, and that were supposedly in these people who said they've been abducted. And some of the material, I don't know if the lab testing was legit or anything, but some of the stuff that they were identifying in the gas spectral analyzers was unknown elements.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that video? That last one. It was said to be CGI, but it had the gray talking about how he's
In Malaysia.
Yeah, he's like, or I don't remember where exactly it was, but the gray. He was talking about how really he's just people from the future, and he came back to rewrite history, and like we destroyed ourselves and burnt all the books, and like World War III wiped us out, and they went back in time to set up base on the moon to watch us and rewrite history.
So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're fine. You're fine.
There's a really weird story that comes out of the alien stuff. Okay, and this is a real thing, and a lot of people don't even catch on to it. There was this guy that supposedly worked for not Area 51, but the other one that they have. I think it was like Area 52 or whatever the fuck it is. And this guy produced a video no, there is more than one. And so this guy produced a video back in the early 90s saying that these ships that the government has were being powered by unantonium.
Unantonium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, unantonium wasn't even discovered until 2013.
Future technology, my friend.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. It's a little fucking bizarre. And this guy, I did a little research on the guy. He ended up working in some sort of company that transports non-dangerous radioactive material.
I'm not sure on that one. I don't think I heard about that.
You guys watch the Q Team?
Q team. Negative.
If that's what it's called, it's like a YouTube channel. It's like
What about guys? What about have you heard about the elite building tunnels under the ground and all?
Oh, with the reptilians.
Yeah, building underground tunnels.
You guys believe in the reptilians?
No.
No, you don't believe in reptilians?
No.
nah.
The men in black, the secret service bodyguard guy, you know, the shapeshifters. No.
Let's just say this. I used to listen to Art Bell and George Norrie, for years. And just say that there are some bizarre things, that are always going on. Stuff will never be able to stand by, But you know what? I have a grain of salt. Is that I don't think that. I don't know.
They're like prepared for something. They're preparing for something to happen. And we're going to be left in the cold. And they're going to be fucking safe as fuck.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
What's happening?
I don't know.
Don't say uh-oh. I don't like that. There's enough uh-oh.
Those are bad.
Uh-ohs are bad. Let's not do uh-ohs. Let's not start this one over now. Is that like we're talking about aliens?
Let's do oh yes.
Yay!
Anonymous
What do you
just
guys
lost
think
their
about
credibility.
Pleiadians? About aliens, I told you. You shouldn't have done that. Then open that box.
We actually got more views when we started talking about it. They're like, hey guys, come to this live stream. They're talking about aliens.
Talk about
Well,
monsters, man.
I don't
I
know.
could-
Do you guys buy into the whole Anunnaki thing?
Oh God, if
Yeah,
you.
man.
I
Okay,
really,
okay, all right. So, that guy was it Strice or was Strickland or whatever the fuck his name is. They're not even sure that how the way he interpreted the Anunnaki symbols was correct. But what I am seeing on the tablets is it is a little bizarre.
I think those are what we consider to be our Egyptian gods, my friend. Our Egyptian gods are representations of the Anunnaki. You don't think so? With all their gold and how they pull power and their technology. That's kind of what I've always kind of thought. The Anunnaki are one with the Egyptian gods, like straight up.
Sumerian.
That's why they have dog faces and shit. I kind of think, if you think biblically, it talks about angels and demons, okay? Angels and demons, angels, Anunnaki, demons, reptilians. It just makes sense. It's all back in the Bible, the serpent that got Adam and Eve to eat the apple, that's very well could have been a type of alien. If you take God out of the Bible and put alien in there, it starts to make a whole lot more sense.
I know some people think that the elite are demonized. They think that the bodies carried over from centuries of an ancient bloodline, and that's what
Like they're demons,
Illuminati
maybe.
is.
Oh, you mean like you're talking about the Luciferian cancer?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, those guys are real.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about them too. What do you guys think about the Pleiadians?
I don't know anything
How do you
about
feel about that? You don't know anything about the Pleiadians?
No, man.
No.
All right. Check it out. Okay, so they're kind of like your spiritual beings. Your beings of light. They're psychic. They don't really talk. They look like us. They're not much different. Blonde, white skin, blonde hair. They live kind of. If you go to the Big Dipper and you follow it out, and you got your next star. I can't remember what it's called. It's really bright, just to the right of the Big Dipper, and you go a little bit more over. To they can teach us how to use our minds, how to, our third eye, how to tap into our spiritual being and kind of shed our physical being, like where we live for 100 years, map. They're pretty, they're pretty cool, but they're evil, they're your demon entity in a sense. They're shapeshifters. They can look like us. They can walk amongst us just like anything else.
Are we talking 1776? Are we talking Adam Weishaupt, start of the Illuminati?
They're inside the Illuminati. They're here today. They're here. They've been here since the beginning. They've been here since before Jesus. They've been here since. They are earthbound for a reason. They're here because they belong here. They live underground. They live in tunnels in Antarctica. They have anti-gravity technology. You guys hear about? I can't remember the exact year, but before World War II, Hitler went on an exploration to go to Antarctica. He went down there and created New Dutchland, or whatever he calls it, in Antarctica, his little territory down there. And they believe that he went down there and he found the entrance to the center of the earth, or where the reptilians live. And he actually got a treaty with them. They were teaching him how to build the Aryan race, because that's what they want. They want to mix breed, create one race. That's the reptilian agenda. Okay, and
Yeah,
so
one race,
Hitler's
one religion,
yeah, one race.
and one language. It was on the
Exactly.
Georgian Guidestone.
It's said that every human being has a reptilian cortex in their brain. The stem right there? That's your reptilian thoughts. That's your instincts. That's your fight or flight. That's your eat or die. That's your when I'm going to fuck shit up, you're thinking like a reptilian. That's their genes inside of us. A lot of people believe that the reptilians, the idea of the Adam and Eve eating the apple thing, was not necessarily eating the apple. It was when the reptilians changed us from what we used to be to what we are now. They manipulated our genes and they interbred us with their DNA, causing us to not be what we used to be. Took away our psychic abilities and all that shit. Kind of dumbed us down. They,
Okay,
it's
I just wanted to welcome Terrence to the chat. If anyone noticed, Terrence.
home
Oh, hey,
well
Terrence.
behaviors.
Terrence from Standing Rock. Hey, bro.
Yeah,
Yep.
Standing Rock. We rep you, buddy.
How's it? Are you okay?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you guys. We're here. We're here.
Okay,
We're not going
sweet.
anywhere.
How you doing?
How are things on the front line?
Terrence?
I'm not sure if you guys can see me though.
So we got your
I
emblem.
see your picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not supposed to be that way.
What up, dude? Welcome to the madhouse.
I got my mask on and all. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't like it.
What's the
Huh.
news, man? What's going on in Standing Rock?
Yeah, let's hear about the front line, man.
We're staying at it, guys. Like, all I can say is a lot of the news and a lot of the stuff that's going around online is just complete nonsense or BS. You know, we've been murdered by the corporate media here.
Oh yeah.
Like every story that comes out is backwards unless it's, you know.
Yeah.
I got some good stuff on my webpage for you. Worry. I'm putting it out for you.
Our people have been spreading the news regardless of the corporate media, right? If there's one thing that this proves in the political movements and the Bernie movements and the Jill Stein movements, they tried everything to shut us up, and they've never do it. You know, from sisters that came down here, you know, we took it to them, and that they never hear about that. You never hear about that. All the games that we did, right? All of the games that we shut down, all of the games playing on our market to them in a way that it's never been done before.
So they're selling huge propaganda, yeah?
They can do anything they want. You know, they've locked us up, they've beat us, they've hit us with water cannons. We haven't backed down not one time.
So,
Hey,
Glad you guys are
Terrence,
staying strong.
what camp are you at right now? Are you at Oshiki or Sacred Stone or what?
Back in between the camps, you know, even when we're on here, I can't give you guys, you know, certain information I can, so I can't.
I know I'm here at Oshiki. I was over there at Sacred Stone since August.
You can't just say you can't tell us secrets and then not bring up secrets, man.
Well, yeah, but when we've got
We
all
are
these people,
anonymous.
I can tell you the truth. I can't tell you, you know, the secrets. I'm back and forth. You know, are you going to tell me? You really want? You really
No,
want
no,
me
no.
to where our guys are? But I'm back
No,
and
no,
forth.
you're safe. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm kidding.
I'm back and forth between Sacred Stone, between the oldest, and between the new Black Hoop camp. And I don't think they're even talking about the Black Hoop camp on you know, on the media at all. So they surrounded us on three sides. So we've taken over the other side of the street and the back half between us and the pipeline.
So, Terrence, when's the last time that you've heard anything about Prairie?
About what?
About Prairie.
He
Prairie.
said prairie.
About your prayer.
About a girl named Prairie.
I thought you said pigs.
It's about prairie. Fuck, dude.
Are you talking about the prairie dogs? And the
No,
like
I'm talking about a
the
woman named Prairie. She was coughing up blood, not to make sure she's okay because
Oh, I
her
know.
aunt is away
What
from
happened?
camp right now.
was she at, well, hold on. Was she at the new child camp?
It's LaDonna's dog.
She wasn't. She was at Hayoka camp when it was still up.
Let me check into it. Let me check into it because like a whole bunch of people had arraignments today. So Angry Bird, strong. Battlers, stay strong. We've lost a lot of people that for no reason that they're trying to bully us. They're trying to intimidate us. It's not even. Man, they came in the casino and just like took her out there like goblins. You know what I mean? Before anybody could even do anything, and then charged her after. Same with Red Fawn, man. Like they're charging people multiple felonies for like trespassing. They put trespassing charge. You got to do 10. And that kind of audience everybody had. When the fuck was trespassing a 10-year? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're gonna charge you for 10 years for going on some, property, what? Like every teenager that hops a fence, that's a 10-year fucking felony. It's ridiculous.
They're just trying to incite fear in you guys.
They'll turn around and do the most violent acts against us, and there's no repercussions for that, or they think there's no repercussions for that. Everything that they do, they expect it not to come back, but that's just not the case. At the end of the day, the elite that are here, the people that made this happen, the fossil fuel industries, in their mind, they assume protest. This is the end of the revolution, and that's the exact opposite. This is only the beginning. This is just the beginning of their problems.
People are starting to rise up. They're seeing it. They're seeing that, like, you guys got them to stop. For, short little while, be it, but you guys got them to stop for the most part. While it was there, like, I was telling them, hey, don't leave. Don't leave. Like, they're going to come back. Knock it off, I'm sure a lot of people stayed, but, trying to scare people into thinking that we can't win, but when they see us winning, that gets tenfold. You might have 1,000 people out there, but as soon as you start to win, you'll have 20,000, And
it's not just here. If you look over the last, 3 weeks, we've had 9 million people protest in the streets. There was never 9 million people at Standing Rock, right? It's gotten so far now that, it's 3, 4, 5, 10 people. They don't even know anybody that's Standing Rock, but they still feel that flame. They still feel that power, right? They're still in the streets, protecting the water, protecting the earth. And that's something I don't think that they expected. This has caused a ripple effect around the world that won't be stopped. I always think that, you were here. So when you remember the sacred fire, we all took a piece of that flame with us. We all took some of those embers with us. And now we've went back to our different homes, from California to Norway to Germany to, New York. We've taken a little bit of that flame everywhere, and we're starting our own fires. You know what I mean? And they expected it to just end right there, and no. We're now how many billions of dollars have we taken away from Wells Fargo?
Quite a bit.
Yeah, and that's just the start. That's the only thing that these guys take that money away. They'll do anything to keep money, anything, including the right thing.
So we targeted them, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of chatter from some of my guys still there on the ground about how the BIA is not on the res. The casinos looking like they're waiting to do something in, like arm in arm with the rest of the police up there.
Yeah.
Are they overreacting to what they're seeing, or is there an influx of BIA?
No. There's been hundreds of extra BIA cops come on here because they were having, the normal cops, especially the mercenaries that they're having come up here. They can't technically go on the reservation. They have federal cops to do that, and it's caused them problems. So they brought in heaps of reinforcements from the BIA, and I don't understand that because a lot of the BIA guys are native. And I mean, geez, there's a special place in hell for graders.
You have to understand it's an intertribal conflict at this point because of the fact that have a pending chairman that told everybody if you're not Sioux, go home. As soon as they done that by treaty law, the FBI and federal officers have the authority to Bureau of Indian Affairs to remove those people.
Oh yeah, they've been given the they've been given the go ahead by by that group of leaders. But on the same
Right,
note,
we
people
know
have to
they don't lead
understand.
anybody, but I'm just saying.
Well, they're seen as being in charge, and people like view their words that way. But when it comes to the camp, there's 7 tribes here, and just in that little area. And they'll have him come out and make a speech and make it sound like he speaks for the entire tribe, and that's not true. That's
Oh,
why we
I
have.
know. Yeah, I get it. There's 7 bands of Lakota, Dakota, Dakota, and a lot of people don't realize that. But what I'm saying is that land's especially in that reservation. That's why the influx of BIA is there, is because that council has voted for them to not be there.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And they gave them the all clear. In fact, they were asking them to come and help.
Wow.
Like they gave BIA as far as now. That doesn't have to, that doesn't have anything to do with Ladonna's land. That doesn't have anything to do with some of the other camps. But as far as that camp's concerned, they gave them free run, man.
Right.
So, Terence, what's the body count? What the government hiding from the public? Have people been killed and stuff? Or
No, we haven't. They haven't. Look, if they could have gotten away with murdering one of us, with shooting one of us, they would have done it. From my perspective, chances are they've been given, and maybe in the beginning with this, with Red Fawn, they may have been trying to execute her, and there turned out to be too many people around. Because she didn't grab for a gun, she didn't do anything. That cop pulled out his gun and was trying to execute her, but like most of them, they came to the broadside of a fucking barn.
Well,
These are the same. These are the same guys that'll empty.
lot of people.
These guys are the same guys that'll empty, 50 rounds into a car and only kill a child in the car next to them. You know what I
Oh
mean?
God. Fucking
Terrence,
idiots.
there were gunshots that day that Red Fawn was arrested, but they came from behind the police line. And I'm not sure who, but there were video cameras that were up there that day, and they caught the audio from it. And they actually got a couple of officers turning their head backwards. Now, I don't know if that video's gotten into Red Fawn's defense, but I pray it does somehow.
Yeah. Like it's just it's a bad situation. Rather they shoot one of us. That's what I mean. Everybody will rise up against that. It'll cause the wrong thing. They lock you in prison until people forget about you. That's their game.
fuck. Terence, what about the stuff they were spraying from helicopters? So they're spraying stuff from the sky, isn't they, at one point? Is that true?
Oh yeah,
As well.
that.
Yeah. Always look.
Pesticide.
Personally, I'm not big into the chemtrails game, but the question is, would your government knowingly spray harmful chemicals over you? The answer is 100% yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I've never with my own eyes seen it. We are testing the snow that's around here, because if they sprayed something over us, it's locked up in the snow at the moment.
Isn't
So
it
we're
aluminum
collecting up
phosphate? Isn't
snow.
it?
What's that?
What are they dumping off? Isn't it like some like aluminum phosphate and what were they saying?
We don't.
You don't know for sure.
Yeah,
So,
nobody.
yeah, what we call it here is the DAPL cough, right? So everybody gets
Right.
here, and then for some reason those planes go over, and then everybody gets sick. Now,
Hey,
why
Terrence, do
those
me a
are?
favor.
Yo,
Go up to the top of the hill of Sacred Stone. You're going to see CP Medium, which is a U.S. military tent, and then you're going to see a wooden structure that was built up there. Go find J.R. American Horse so that he can find you. He will have some sort of clothing that was there that day on the action when they seen the planes dumping stuff directly on them. It was not chemtrails. It was chemicals.
They're dumping chemicals. Yes.
Yeah, I look,
That's what I said, man.
I have to be able to test it and prove it in court, right? So our game is to collect up all the evidence we can, collect up the water samples, so we can say, look, this chemical does not exist here, right? The only reason this would be here is because it's a military chemical, this, that, whatever. However we find is in there, we have to be able to prove what it was. You have the chemicals in the water in the, at the timestamp that you were there, right? That's different. Now, the rat poisoning, that's a completely different story, right? That's not even debatable. So, people, the water protectors are here, went in and got checked at the doctors, right? We've all been exposed. If you've been here, you've been exposed to that rat poison. And they knew about it before we were here. If I was them, right, and this is from, an ex-military perspective, right, that is a neurotoxin. And if you wanted to see how an army would react to a neurotoxin, if they would still be able to achieve an objective, if they would still be able to fight under low-level neurotoxins, right, that's the way to test it. And I would say most likely that's what they were doing.
Have you guys got any samples sent to like an independent or anything like that?
Yeah, like we're collecting up the snow samples, and they are doing like soil tests around the camp. The deal is they're not arguing that we've all been exposed to the rat poison, right?
Yeah.
Like the Fish and Wildlife or whoever comes over, like they're saying, yeah, the place is riddled with. They knew about it before the camp was here, and they didn't warn anybody.
Fucking hell. That's fucked up.
Right.
Yeah. So
Just to make a buck.
it's gone out of fashion to send us smallpox blankets. You know what I mean? So chemical weapons are their next game. But if you think about it, what tool have they not used against us?
Shit. That's insane.
But we have to be able, any of it, we have to be able to prove it. That's why they have those laws that you can't collect rainwater and you can't collect, you can't collect this and that, because as soon as people start looking into the water, they're like, what the fuck is this?
Exactly.
Right? We need to be able to prove facts.
Yeah, like it has to be indisputable, or they will. They'll give you all sorts of stupid excuses, hold it up in court, this and that, where it needs to be blatant that they can't get around it.
Right. Because otherwise they're not going to do anything because they're making money too,
Oh yeah, look at all of the other times, like, asbestos is great for you, cigarettes are great for you, right? Every time the government says, yeah, it's all good, you should probably ingest it in huge quantities, it's poisonous.
Right. Fluoride,
Yeah,
for example,
exactly. Just go nuts.
I
remember I took my daughter to school, and they were like, she needs to be on prescription for fluoride tablets. I was like, the fuck, fluoride tablets? I'm not giving my daughter that. And they're like, oh, she needs it. It's good for her bones and her teeth, to help her grow.
Fluoride is a neurotoxin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we all know this.
You look back and see like people that haven't hit that, and that aren't using fluoride, and you're like, wow, they look plenty strong to me.
Yeah, they're keeping white, but their eyes don't function.
Right, that's when you catch that fluoride look. Zombie face.
Yeah.
That Prozac.
Yeah, don't drink bottled water from fresh stuff.
Well, I'm blessed enough. I have an off-system name. I got a what do they call it? A hammer pump, and it pulls water from the river directly. So my my water comes out of a natural spring. I don't drink any of this natural water. So if I want like purified water, I'll just go to the store and buy that high THC shit. Because your body needs that. What is it? 7.5% pH balance crap.
Yeah.
That's the only water I don't drink.
That's what they're trying to destroy, right? If they have their way, and you think to us, it seems, the worst thing that could happen is that oil spills into the water, right? In our perspective, that is the worst thing to happen. To these guys, right? That's the best thing that happened. The fact that you can't drink water all over the world, that's what they want. If an oil spill destroys billions of gallons of water, they're making money. They'll send you a water bottle. Right, they send hundreds of water bottles to Flint, but won't fix the fucking pipes.
Right, exactly. That's kind of like in California. They've been in that drought for the last couple of years, and Nestle's over there sucking up all the water they can and reselling it to them for $3 a bottle.
That's another controversial subject. I've dug into that because I was in native California not too long ago, and the solution to California's water has been like massive desalinization plants. That's the only way it's gonna fucking be solved, you know. But anytime anybody comes up with this shit, it's essentially like this whole fucking underground water politics and who has most and what shit. The reason,
wasn't it by half the cause of the drought, and they were spraying the clouds to keep high pressure systems over California to
being a native Californian, you know, from the up until recently, you know, especially when the drought is impacting the most, you know, we had rain occasionally. Well, I mean, it would come in the spring and the fall, and sometimes in the summer we would see the storms, but it would never actually hit, you know, Orange County, California. But it always seems to be like this weird high pressure bubble system. So it's kind of like normal. But you know, I'm not you know, not a guy who studies weather patterns and stuff. But you know, it does seem like get worse and worse. And
well, look, that's what we know. We know this is what climate change said it was going to do. You know, you'll get you'll get huge floods and then no water forever. And places shouldn't be that way. You'll have it cold in one moment and then 80 degrees the next moment. Like it's not straight global warming. Is not what our problem is. It's just the huge weather effects that go around it are going to cause us all sorts of problems. And that's what they were telling us.
It's HARP. You know HARP? Have you heard of HARP?
HARP in Alaska?
Instrument.
Yeah, they have the mobile HARP and they have the Alaskan HARP.
You guys seen the videos of the snow being burnt?
You know that polar vortex that you had in 2013? That was because they were warming up the Antarctic to get the oils and the resources. So it's
it's something about that mentality. Like at some point when they come in and say, "Hey, you've got weeds in your yard. You need to spray it with this horrible chemical from Monsanto to get them away." Someone needs to look at them and be like, "No, man, I'm cool with the weeds, right? They're living their thing. I'm doing my thing. That's fine." When you're like, "Oh, the weather's out of whack. I need
system to fail." I think they want the dollar to fall, and then I think that's what they want to do to watch it burn. And they'll be safe, but they'll watch us destroy ourselves. That's what they think.
Yeah, see, I think they're wrong. Actually, we will turn on them. We always do. You know, if there's one thing that you can say is revolution always happens, right? The French aristocracy, they thought they had it good all the way till we were kicking in their doors. Right, and if you look at it this way, right, this is 2017. You know, I wish I would have an opportunity to talk to them, and I'll be like, "Look, man, right, I talk to the people, right, we're not going to cut your head off, right, this is 2017, but what I want you to do is get in your $1 million car, drive to your $100 million yacht, and fuck off."
Go live in your island, away from everybody.
Man, look, I don't care what you do, just go away.
Yeah, man.
I think
like at the end of the day, our system, international banking, the way that we work with each other, the way that we do business with each other, sales and stuff, man, we don't need the 1% to do that. Yeah, it's a scam. It's a debt game.
You know Rothschild's got a Zeppelin with fucking swimming pools on it, man. How fucking nuts is that?
Yeah, and maybe it's like me. There's only so much that I need, right? Like, they got houses that they're, the room has, 200 rooms and 213 bathrooms. What the hell are the extra 13 bathrooms for? Man, I can only take one shit at a time. I hate to be the one to tell you that.
It's for that party that nobody will come to his house, you know?
Yeah. All the good parties.
Oh God,
all the good parties.
Nobody wants to go there.
Yeah, all the greatest parties that I've been to, you gotta wait for the bathroom.
There's always that lineup all the way out.
Yeah, that's where you get to strike up a conversation. Oh, what's up, Ed?
Get that bathroom sex if you get lucky.
You're gonna take something home with you with that. The gift that keeps on giving.
Just stand there. So, well, both of our pants are going to be off. You just want to make this happen real quick? Mm-hmm. Let's take something home. No.
I need a good work. I need a good work area. That's all I'm gonna say.
Can I get a Blumpkin real quick?
Oh. And that is why I don't have sex in bathrooms, because you just got a Blumpkin in there. That's exactly why I don't do that.
Oh, yeah, I did that. My bad. I'm not even on right
That
now.
went
What are you?
that went south so quick.
Yes, it
Hey,
did.
that's what happens, man. I start talking bumpkins and fucking. You don't want to get me kinky. I'll keep
Mm.
that shit to myself. My bad.
No, do you? That's fine.
Oh, we're not gonna have the sex session. That's not what we're here for.
No.
What's this? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You guys hear me?
There's someone under 18 here. I'm sorry. I gotta close my ears.
Yeah, cover your eyes, close your ears.
Yeah, you definitely need to put like a disclaimer on the top.
You never know what we're gonna say. This is unscripted. This is raw. This is whatever the hell happens. Most of
Yeah,
us are
it's
probably
wherever it
stoned.
goes.
Watch,
We
we get
cover so
reported.
many subjects.
Brother, can you tell us what you've been doing at Standing Rock? I mean, can you tell us comfortably, like, what kind of difference you've made and what you've been doing?
Oh, for sure, man. We've like both like just our group as well as everything that happened at Standing Rock. I mean, right now we do have the big cleanup going on, but we knew that was coming. 10,000 people came and then, most of them left. Like that's just part of it. If you had a concert that was, and I'm not liking this to a concert, I'm not making that connection, but if you had a concert that had 10,000 people on the weekend, and it'd be one hell of a cleanup. So you do have to deal with it's not the way that they make it sound on TV. And second of all, they
You've had a
well look,
lot.
they're trying to make things sound like they're the same, right? That somehow somebody leaving their tent is equal to you ruining the water for the next 100,000 years. And that's not the same, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
But
I
when
saw
you
them.
hear it
I
on
saw them trying to
TV,
push that shit on you guys, where
yeah,
they
they're
said
like,
that you guys were destroying the fucking surroundings, and they had some like Cheetos in a bag, and I'm like, well, yeah, that was like right before some guy actually picked it up.
yeah, and even then, like, don't act like a fire pit that somebody left is somehow equal to you nuking an entire area. Like, it's just the damage that this pipeline will do. We could never, a single person could not. An entire industry is used to destroy that water system.
Well, not only that, pipelines in general, they fucking leak, and when they leak, and they leak all the
It's not
time,
like
it's
it's
bad.
not like all
It's
of them
fucking
leak. Like
bad.
there isn't a
Yeah.
single pipeline in the planet that doesn't leak. And
The
like we
Alaskan
fight
pipeline will
here.
leak for fucking weeks before they figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
There's this is something a lot of people haven't like gotten out to the news. There are tons of ex-oil workers that came here to support Standing Rock that know what this industry did. And sit down and tell you, and they're like, look, we check if there's a leak until it's under 5 to 10% pressure. 5 to 10% pressure is thousands and thousands and
Thousands of gallons.
thousands of gallons of oil. That's ruined an entire lake, an entire ecosystem, the entire river by the time they even check. And that's in a place where they care, right? If a pipe breaks in Nebraska, right, they give a little bit of a shit. If a pipe breaks in the Congo, shit, they just let that go. Just right into the water. They don't care. South America, they don't care. They don't have to do anything. They use that the same way that they use slave labor. In America, if they find a slave labor spot in New York, right, it's a huge deal. But we'll slave out half of South America, and that's okay.
What I want to talk about, if you don't mind, is what kind of help you with Anonymous over there, because I know you a little bit as far as bringing internet there.
Yeah, like, it wasn't just us. So like the AOSEC and STR and Geeks Without Bounds kind of pooled our skills to get this going. So the internet was one thing, getting like anti-surveillance up because
They had they had those what do they call them? Stingrays going on, didn't they?
oh yeah,
Yeah, they were intercepting your internet signal
yeah they
by
don't
posting another signal.
they don't have them anymore.
Give him a second. Nothing. There was nothing. There was like a couple spots where people could talk, but there was really no service anywhere. I think Facebook killed.
No, and And one of the things that we did when we came in, even with the high-speed internet that is like our emergency line that was at the Dome and, you know, and at the top of the Facebook Hill and all of that, our group went through and made mobile boosters for the entire camp. So we've placed basically the same, you know, 500-watt systems that you put in your RV. We took those boosters and a Verizon hotspot, encrypted line, and a portable battery pack, and then we put those in kind of a box that has like a mobile toolbox with the antennas sticking out the top. And then you can grab that. We put those all over the camp, and then if you ever have to grab it and bail, you just roll it with. That's why people have been able to live stream, is that we put those boosters up. And as long as you know you have the right services and all of that, we boost the cell phone signals, we boost the internet, like everything. And that made a huge difference, guys. And then just the normal things that we do. Look, the watchers hate being watched, so we see a surveillance van, we ping their asses. Right? And as soon as they start saying, oh yeah, we see you, we know who you are, we know where you're going, they normally pack up and go home. We also put together a router network in the camp between several different. So when we did pick up on a van, when we did pick up on somebody, we didn't always say anything, and we'd watch them travel through camp, and you know, write down what the van was, what its description was, who was, all of that stuff. But we could tell which part of camp they were on by which router they were going through.
And a lot of people run that shit too. I mean, like run van numbers and stuff. I mean, I think we've been working pretty well around the board as far as Standing Rock, finding people that are supportive all the way around, doing some damage.
Like you're breaking up real bad on my end.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was hoping. But look, right now, I'm streaming. I'm talking to you guys from the middle of Standing Rock, right? And 3 months ago, that would have been impossible.
Well, we're glad you.
But between that and we brought in heaps and heaps of wind turbines, of solar panels, of inverters. So I mean, we've changed. We had to do by a lot of wood, but everything else we've switched over to running wind and solar.
Nice.
Hell yeah. And keep it going
But
that way.
I mean, that was anonymous power. You know what I mean? That was all of us putting our masks on, putting in, buying the equipment together, and implementing it. Boom.
That's bigger than a good start. That's fucking outstanding effort.
Yeah, which is where it's at. Like I don't take any responsibility for that. That took all of us to accomplish.
Heck, why don't we just start doing that in, you know, just where we're living, you know?
Oh, if we could, like, I mean, I would love, you know, in the dream world, for us to pick out a school every month and boom, turn at least their computer lab over for free, you know, just park it there, show them how to use it, boom, plug it in, and go. And just every month out a new school and do that exact same thing. And go from
Teach them how to do it themselves.
Positive. Well, yeah, I mean, like right there, you've already created several jobs. Somebody has to do maintenance on it, but they're making money in the power that they're saving.
Exactly.
But it's going to take a lot to get that nice. Like we do have a couple of lines here of people that are but you know that's a big project. Like I said, that's in a perfect world. We pick a problem and we beat the hell out of it.
That'd be good to start.
Right.
And I don't know been on the other STR sites, but that's kind of our deal with all of this stuff. So we made like the apps to help stop rapes on college campuses, the apps to help distribute food to the poor, the apps to help in young veterans. Like we just pick out a problem and fix it with technology. Done. I mean, you think if we could apply that to everything?
Support. I mean, you know, actual live fucking demonstration. Not all about technology. Technology helps a lot. but us coming
Well, that's
together
what.
in the real world and doing real damage is what technology really helped.
But though, right? How much do you hate slavery, right? All of us, we absolutely hated slavery. But did you
Oh
hate
yeah.
slavery enough to make cotton gin? Right? It's the technology that fucks them in the end.
Yeah.
Our advancements.
I mean, what you're saying is I make the cotton gin so you can make more money off whatever, but
I'm not catching. Sorry, you're
Breaking up
cutting out.
really bad.
all right.
Prism, are you using that voice changer again?
You sound clear now.
No, we got him
Whatever.
now.
Yeah, you're clear that time. Whatever you were doing before, it was just cutting out bad.
I wasn't talking before.
Oh, who was with the?
Who? And somebody was trying to make a point, and I like what he had to say.
That was Loki.
That was me.
Okay.
Well, I mean, look, we have to use technology to our advantage. You look, it took. It took, buildings full of to get us back and forth to the moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Millions and millions and millions of times more processing power in just phone, and we do nothing with it.
We have way more processor in our mind if you think about it. If we can unlock our brains, but that's a lot bigger of a feat.
Well, and it's not everybody. Some people are going to make beautiful music. Some people are going to make programs. Some people are going to build houses. Unlocking your mind doesn't necessarily mean you'd be in one certain set of fields. Some of us will write poetry.
And you put that all together and you put it on one subject, you could all just work on it, and that's how you get stuff started.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
you get artists, you get all types of people to help with the page, and that's how you grow pages. You could do that with tons of stuff.
Oh, everything. The more that we find out how much alike we are, the better we are. Right? What's happening now is not it's like a reuniting of the world. We started off all together, and these guys have screwed it up.
Definitely.
When they were you were happy to see another person. Oh crap! I thought the tribe was that guy. Right? And now, you find somebody that's new, you have to hurt them. When it was, 20,000 years ago, and the first guy came out of his tent and said, "Look, I just talked to God, and He needs me to give you all. He needs me to get you to give me all your stuff and kill your neighbors." They should have told him no. When there was just 12 of us, for some reason, we bought into it. And never felt the need to argue. When the guy came down and said, "Hey, I just talked to God," and he said you needed to murder people, you should have been like, "Look, I also just talked to God." Right? And he told me it was cool, let him be.
Oh, so, what's going on here in this chat?
Yeah, can we? Because I'm not looking at the chat at the moment. Can we?
Oh, maybe.
Answer some online
drama. I was just looking at that.
Where? No, that was like an hour ago.
Oh. I check in on it. It's been a while, I guess. I forgot how long we've been on here for.
You're like, I was smoking a bowl, dude. Like, what time is it again?
I don't even know. I'm off in La on just chilling, doing my thing. Y'all might as well be in my living room right now. This is how this is.
Yeah.
I'll pass you the bong. You ready?
Uh-oh, dropped it.
What did you drop?
Oh, you
That's
dropped
the
my bong, you asshole. Party foul.
That's drug
that's
abuse.
the
You dropped it.
downsides of bongs, man. You'll never get bong water out of your carpet.
Oh no, and it stinks too, God.
Ugh. Ugh.
Remember I was playing some Call of Duty one time and I got all crazy and I threw my remote, got everything,
Oh
and,
my god.
including a bong. And it was in my parents' house at the time, so I was like, "Oh fuck!" You know, I had to get out the sharp. Oh my god, the carpet shampooer thing, and like shampoo the floor and get all that shit out of there. And they're like, "What are you doing up there?" "Oh, just vacuuming. Mind your own business." I didn't do anything. I'm a control thrower. I freak out. They troll me on that Call of Duty.
I don't know. I was that way when I was a young man, and then I used to have this table, right? It was like this really cool yin yang table, like two sides that went to it. I absolutely loved that table, right? I was so pissed. I hit that table like 1,000 times. Nothing ever happened. And I kicked it over for some reason, and the end came off of it, and it just never sat on there right. And I was like, look, I can't be breaking my own shit. I'm the only one that has to replace this stuff.
Right?
Like when you're not mad at me, fuck, that just cost me $50.
Exactly.
I wasn't $50 mad.
That's your therapy, bro. You break your shit, you got to buy a new one. Then you feel like an idiot.
Nah, break other people's stuff. Don't break your stuff.
For some reason, I'm gentle with other people's shit. It's only my own stuff I break. I don't want to be an
You need to
asshole.
get like a place. Like that's what punching bags and shit are for. Somewhere you can get
Oh, I
out the
have that.
aggression and not cost yourself money.
I have punching
just like-
bags and machetes and like brass knuckles and guns and all that fun stuff, but I still break remotes.
So that it's win-win. So it doesn't break and you get the effect of it like bouncing around the room.
I like to shoot shit.
Like launch it out your back door.
Oh,
Skeet, skeet,
there's a
pow.
crazy kid down the corner shooting shit in the city.
He must have lost in Call of Duty.
Yeah,
You fucker, pop, pop, pop.
you ever run into that fucking crazy guy, Stone Mountain 64, who fucking like does that fucking crazy shit?
No.
Oh god, he gets into it, dude. He fucking like he like pretends like he's like a drill sergeant and shit.
It's funny. I love raging out. It's good times.
I like listening to people rage out on COD for sure. To be
Oh,
honest,
yeah,
this
that
guy
one-
plays-
Like you guys gotta look up Stone Mountain 64 in some of his videos, dude. Like people will be like, what the and like he's doing it on purpose. He'll act like a drill sergeant and then he'll say like, "Mom, can you get me some fucking Oreos and shit?" I'm like,
nice.
What does he do?
You guys
He's
gotta
the
watch
gorilla.
and not trolling.
I've seen that. That's funny.
That
Karen.
is pretty funny.
I was going to say, what's your take on the triangle on dollar bill?
Oh, the all-seeing eye.
Yeah.
"Oh, no,
good.
Novus Ordo Scholarum or whatever the hell it says. That especially spells New World Order, dude."
Yep. That is.
Which like everything, they steal our best. You can't use the words New World Order anymore because they've tainted it.
Right? You go try to watch some wrestling.
Imagine if that same world, yeah, right. Imagine if that same word was used as the way it should be. You know, when we're all like, look, we're going to change it so that we're not screwing each other over, we're not using slaves, and we're not polluting the environment. Right? That's a new world order. But
Exactly.
they jacked it.
We can take it back.
I think we could give it a go.
You guys ever remember that really weird speech that Bush gave out about the New World Order? It was like fucking like crazy weird. In a New World Order, everything will be great. In a New World Order, will all be fine.
If we can forge a new world order.
This moment where you look at that and you're like, fuck that, I'm out.
Yeah, we're just gonna kill 7 billion. Hey, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Don't mind the chips.
Oh man, fucking cops.
I'm trying to go live on that base on Mars. What do you guys think about that?
What?
Hold on.
The base on Mars?
You know what's really
If you
weird
pay
is
for my ticket, I'll come.
It'd be cool. I'm gonna sneak on the plane. And crawl in the fucking the hangar.
We could be traveling the universe as we speak, but unfortunately, we spent all that time and all that money doing the one thing
Fighting
we already
each
knew how
other.
to do.
Think about it. We already are traveling the universe. Which
Well,
is
Yeah, but
essentially,
dude, I
yes.
want
Yes.
to. Yeah, but we could really be kicking some ass across the universe, and we've just wasted millions, over the thousands of years.
Who knows? We could be up there already. It's not like they tell us.
Yeah, but even then, right? If you look at something like, just in the technology, right? The military is the worst use for any technology. If you look at something as simple as GPS, right? GPS, the U.S. government hid GPS for a good 40 years, right? The moment that they turned it over to civilian use, it changed the world. Jet planes, yeah. Jet planes are great as far as attack planes, right? But giving the jet to the civilian world changed the world. Right? Any technology that the military is using could be used to do much better things. Anything.
They
Terrence,
just want to use it for
you know
themselves, right?
Blackbirds. You know the Blackbird aircraft. Do you think that could have been UFO technology type stuff?
All right, I'll be as
Shaken
honest
up.
as I possibly can on here, right? I was in the military for quite a while. I was in the Air Force, right? And I never saw a technology. And God damn it, guys, I looked. Right? Even the little like the hint of it, of a technology that looking back, I would say was absolutely epic, right? If you look at it this way, our government took $3 trillion to research the Predator drone, our coolest weapon at the moment. You're telling me you spent $6 trillion, got the most intelligent minds in the world, and all you came up with was a remote control plane with a camera on it?
I could have done that stone.
Right?
Right, the last time that we were given that much money, we broke the atom, and that was you designed the same thing that a kid makes in his basement?
Oh, that's a good one. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Hydro Collider in CERN.
Oh
You know anything
gosh.
about that?
Yeah.
Isn't that
We learned a
after
lot from
like
it,
shooting
whether
atoms?
Signed that
we're
we
gonna.
just signed that we you were talking about the proton accelerator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just signed that we could invent new elements by hitting essentially speeding up particles and hitting each other at really fast speeds.
Oh, we haven't even
Getting some bit.
scraped the surface, but the amount of money that we put into CERN was nowhere near the amount of money that we put into any other military
But is
invention.
it true Elite was trying to open some sort of paranormal gateway, or do you think that's just a load of BS?
Well, I mean, I think there's two things that are at play here. There could or could not be some severely, let's go with evil. I'm not going to really use the word satanic because I think it's used weird, aliens and all of those things. But at the same time, kings always like to believe they're somehow right. The kings always tell you, "Oh, I'm enlightened by God. Somebody gave me this power. I'm fucking special." But no, you're just another fucking monkey, right? And the elite always like to think that they're special. Me and another guy were talking about this today. Whether they are intergalactic future lizard people from the future, I bet you their head comes off just the same. Right? There's 6 billion of us.
David
They may
Rockefeller
have
had
that
like
power,
16
that
half
technology, and
transfer.
all of that, but this is my planet. Right? And if you think that we are evil to each other, let me find out you're an alien.
It might take an outside source like that to get us to unite.
Yeah, unfortunately, like that's the worst thing that you can say because we've been at this for so long, and the only thing we have ever fought is each other. All of those great wars of the ancient world, they're right. Some of our achievements of humanity absolutely useless. We built the pyramids to people that thought they were gods. Put in all that sweat, all that work into what? To make him feel good. Yeah, you're special. I'm glad that you have that connection to fucking God. That's great. We need to spend our entire
They
lives
look cool.
building you a pyramid. Yeah, fair enough. But imagine what you could have spent that amount of manpower on.
There's always something we could have been doing, like building solar panels, for example.
Oh, yeah, because we buy into whatever it is. The guy at the top of the pyramid tells you that he gets his ideas straight from God or that he is God.
Right? You spend $1 billion to make somebody who makes under minimum wage.
Yeah, and even then, right, let's say, I don't understand the president needs, like, military advisors. Why not just have, like, 6 seats that say war on them?
Yeah,
Right, you can
exactly.
save heaps and heaps of time. And even then, if I came out and I said, look, I want the most brilliant military minds in the world, we got this nuclear problem, come and give me your ideas. Right, and he came in and said, look, this is my idea, mutual assured destruction. That is the stupidest idea that I have ever heard. You're telling me the best idea that you could come up with is that we both die? Why would I get into a fist fight if I knew I was going to die, right? The point is to win.
Welcome to World War III, my friend.
Yeah, the
but then
weapons that we
build
have
what?
now are so bad that that we can destroy the world within minutes.
Oh yeah, and even then, right? They tell you we have enough. America alone has enough nuclear weapons to destroy the world 1,000 times. Let me tell you something, homie. One time is plenty, right? And one time too many, being that I live here.
Exactly.
You don't want to lose your arms.
Just doesn't. That makes absolutely no sense. The people that are in charge are completely insane, but yet think that that's a good idea.
Haven't we learned anything through history that wars essentially they solve nothing? You get a structure and order for a few hundred years, maybe 1,000, and then it all falls to shit.
Well, even now, with like the recent takeover of fascism, one of the reasons that has been happened so much is because the men that fought in World War II against this kind of insanity of fascism, they're gone.
I was going to get back to Trump. I think they put Trump in to cause division, so that it would cause a division between, because he's racist thing, so it would cause a division between black people and white people.
Some of it is yes, and second, I think we proved for a shadow of a doubt, right, that anybody, and I mean anybody, can beat Hillary Clinton. Now, she's ran for president how many times now?
I don't necessarily think it mattered who was in.
Yeah. Let's just take Barack Obama,
More time
right?
to give blowjobs, like.
America, but let's just take Barack Obama. America is the most racist country in the world that, arguably, besides maybe Australia, I mean, everywhere's got racism, but it's bad here, right? Middle of the Iraq War, still shoot black men in the street here, right? With no holds barred. You could not be in the middle of the Iraq War. You could not beat a black man named Barack Hussein Obama in America. There is nobody that you could beat at that point.
Right. Hey guys,
Right? It comes down to there is nobody that you could run. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I gotta get out of here. I'll try to get back before the end of the show, but I gotta step out for a second.
No, it's fine.
One love, guys.
Catch you in a bit, Will.
Be well, guys. Don't get yourselves in any trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Try not to.
I'll catch a felony.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
All right, guys. Good luck. Good luck.
So,
It in politics is both sides are working for the same team, whether you want to know it or not. And there's always these shadowy evil people, the always pulling the strings. Everybody's got each other by the balls, and it all revolves around money. It doesn't matter. I was talking about that. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't see a huge I don't see the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans like that. How Trump's going about it, I don't think that Trump's doing anything that Hillary Clinton wouldn't do. Now, she would do it all behind closed doors, right? She's not going to make a public statement about it, but no difference as far as policy, as far as working for the banks. We had all that hopes and dreams behind Obama. First thing he did was pay off the banks.
What about that whole Lehman Brothers scandal with the Federal Reserve? There was people coming at the Federal Reserve about this. How much was it? It was like $6 billion that was missing.
That you just lost.
Yeah, they lost it. They couldn't fucking find it. I don't think that was ever fucking paid them back.
Oh no, they didn't. And it's the same with what is it, Tower 3? They were doing the middle of an investigation, all the paperwork for the dollars that you misplaced are in one building, and it happened.
Explode for no fucking reason.
Yeah, like no plane hit it. Look, man, these are old buildings. It's New York. You know what I mean? It's New York. That building, he fell out of respect.
I guess I'm talking some bullshit. We have some comments again. They're like, that guy's talking bullshit.
Guys, there's a lens down there.
Put up some comments if there's people commenting. Let's see what their questions are.
We got 100 comments, guys, to look through.
Okay,
alien stuff.
what's the most recent one?
Pick out, yeah, no, you should pick out a really, really good one and a really bad one. Let's see what our troll count is. You know you've made it to the big time when you've got trolls.
Oh yeah.
They're like angry groupies. They check your page every morning. They make sure to write little comments and stuff, right? They're like angry little groupies.
Oh yeah, they're like, hey, where's Tyler Durden on Facebook?
Have fun finding us, guys.
Have fun finding me. Watch every Tyler Durden account goes down tomorrow.
Yeah, what was I going to say? Terence, do you think that the government are trying to form a one world government, you know, where it's just centralized? So it's just one entity?
I think that, I mean, to be honest, they have a one world government.
Right.
You know, between international banking, between the fossil fuels, between our food distribution system, right?
UN,
if there's
IMF,
one thing that we can, yeah, I mean, if there's one thing that we know for sure, our opponents can work together in a way that we've never been able to accomplish. Right? On the outside, they'll tell each other, as long as they're making money, they'll say whatever it takes to make it seem like they have an enemy, not an enemy, right? They're well connected, well funded. They'll do anything to get profit, right? So, I mean, that sure we have a one world government. What they don't want is the people uniting under one world. You know, that's the problem, and that's what causes this problem, right? We're talking in Standing Rock, we're talking all over the U.S., we're in, you know, we're in England. Yeah, like that's. Oh, there's always a reason to somehow like divide us, but right, we're slowly but surely getting around it. But no, I definitely think I think we've went past where the argument that whether there is or isn't a one world government, for sure. And if you count the 1%, you know, they've always worked well together. They make money no matter what, right? Dick Cheney will shake hands with Saddam Hussein as long as we're making money. You know, Saudi Arabia, as long as we're making money.
Yeah.
Right? They don't care about any of those things. They don't care about religion. They don't care about race. They don't care about any of that as long as they're making money.
Have you seen the $20 bill? If you fold a $20 bill, you see the Twin Towers going down. It's fucking sick. It's evil. Really
I haven't seen that one.
Really
Yeah, you can fold it out. There's like the guy in the bushes as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this comment.
But hit us.
What would Anonymous have done if Hillary was elected?
Same thing we're doing now.
Yeah.
Like for me, you know,
we don't
for
like
me,
anyone.
as an activist, I was going to fight this system.
We Anons don't vote. We don't
honestly,
vote, and we're anarchists. These are anonymous, in my eyes.
Yeah,
so
I can't see my actions being any different no matter who won.
Exactly.
Like we were saying before, they're the same system. You know, the oppressive system that we live in is worldwide, right? And it wouldn't have mattered whether Hillary Clinton, you know, if you're a child making iPods, right, chained to a machine making clothing, whether Hillary Clinton got elected or Trump got elected, that really didn't matter to you, and that's who I'm fighting for. I hope that if I was chained to a machine, right, and couldn't fight for myself, that somebody, right, even if they were on the other side of the world, was trying to get me out of there. And that's kind of where I sit. Right? They can't fight for themselves, right? I'm chained to a machine. I'm 8 years old, right? Making clothing to be sold at Walmart, right? I need to have somebody else has to fight for me because I can't. And I'm not buying those clothes, right? The system that works in is on your side of the world.
That's the only thing that I don't agree with. I know mask, and I'm anonymous, but I don't agree with the Guy Fawkes mask to a degree, because slaves make them in China and Thailand and stuff. But we're against that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and we have to really watch. This is where we have to really watch where we buy our products, and it's something that the internet gives us, because at this point you can research it. That's something that I mean, any of the things talked about, you know, on the the program tonight, right? You can look up any of those things, agree with us, disagree with us, but once you start getting people to search for knowledge, or typing stuff in and start looking, they most of the time come over to your side. But we have to look, if a company uses slave labor, don't buy it, ever.
Guy Fawkes mask, Time Warner gets a cut, so I mean, I'm only wearing a mask because the trolls are so pissed off with us at the moment. They're trying to purge every one of us. So I'm just trolling back.
Yeah.
I still think the mask is a bad idea, to be honest. I think it's corporate, and we do need to drop it. It does need to be dropped.
I think there's a couple of reasons why we've been slowly moving away from the mask. I mean, there is a trendy factor that I don't particularly like. Fifth, we have a lot of people come out as tourists, and then you say, okay, well, you marched with 200,000 to stop homelessness and feed the poor. How many poor people did you feed? There was 200,000 of you. Make some sandwiches, right?
Yeah.
Instead, Guy Fawkes mask and did a little bit of a march, but what was the point? On the 6th, you weren't out there feeding people, or even like moving to the people. By the 10th, right? You don't even own a mask anymore. You checked it in the trash or it broke. Right, so that's something that does bother me, and I think it's been kind of linked to the mask. I'd like to see those 100,000 people at a march make 200,000 sandwiches, and geez, there aren't that many. There aren't that many homeless people or people in need in most cities. You're looking at like 10,000. There's 200,000 of you. You guys couldn't make 10,000 sandwiches?
Terrence, I dropped the mask. I was Green Man, and basically there was a purge where they were killing everyone's accounts.
Yeah.
So then we all decided to start picking up the mask again, just to counteract the trolling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have to look. I mean, we have like the Batman problem sometimes, right? Where it is a symbol. There aren't a lot of people fighting on our side right now, and that mask does represent the resistance of the people, and we have to kind of take that into consideration. For one reason or another, it does stand for something, and it makes us kind of the world's only superhero. We exist everywhere. It doesn't matter if you kill one of us, there's 10 more of us around at any one time. And it is that.
It seems like Green Man and Guy Fawkes are joining into one entity now. Elders and New Flag joining into one. That's what it seems like to me. Does anyone else agree with that? Or?
Yeah, I've been seeing it around, around my circles.
And it just as a nons, like, we do have to evolve. We can't get stuck in one spot for too long. We really do have to morph and turn into other things, because there's a lot of, it's one of those things. We came from the internet. Well, now that we're off, right, we really have to exist in this world too.
Yeah, we started as trolls, didn't we? We started trolling pedophiles on the
Yeah, we still do that.
Yeah, like, honestly, I'm gonna put it out there. If you're a pedophile, man, you're on my list, my shit list, man. And I got a long memory.
This is not the place to be for pedophiles.
Yeah. I'm just putting out there, man. We will find you. We will expose you.
Oh, heck yeah. Anyway,
in fact, homeboy's on a hunt right now. The guy that posts out. No, seriously, I'm not gonna put his name on blast, but he does some good shit.
Away right now.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. The guy that does the videos.
Yeah.
He does some good work.
So I got this comment also that we can respond to. I'm a part of the movement, and I still don't understand fully why the banks got hacked.
What?
I don't know. Banks. I was just asking if you knew anything about that.
You're referring to a non-news, like, is that what he's referring to?
Oh, no.
That where hackers hit the bank?
Casey Myrick. If you're seeing this, can you...
Yeah, can you elaborate a little bit?
I'm interested in that, to hear more about that. I don't exactly know.
Well, I mean, we can talk about the international banking.
We have some. Well, I don't even want to know. Let's just say that there has been counter resistance to the banking industry on a cyber level, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh no, look, if you're a giant corporate bank investing in, you know what I mean, the industries that we've spoken about before, yeah, look, we're of course Anonymous is stronger with you. Won't we? You know, that's the linchpin in most of this system. So I mean, I don't
Exactly.
know
We're
exactly which.
fearless.
Yeah,
We're fearless, and we don't give a fuck.
yeah, that is that. I mean, that's 100%. So, you know, yeah, the banks are definitely on it, and it's not just the people are trying to hack the banks. We're trying to undermine it altogether. Now, oh boy, Bitcoin screwed us over good. You know, he could have into, you know, it could have undone the banking industry, and instead he embezzled a whole bunch of money, and it lost us a lot of, you know, a lot of belief and a lot of interest in cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is going to take that power away from them altogether. So I would say that's one of their biggest fears, between that and kind of the rise of credit unions. If you are in one of those banks that invests in these kind of industries, take it out and put it in a credit union.
Oh
We had
yeah,
talked, you
they're
know,
cool as shit. You can get like you can get like a bank account. Some of them for like fucking $5.
yeah, I mean, and if there's anybody that owns like a small bank that's willing to work with us, then contact us, right? We would love to start pushing like that are good, decent places. We need them, right? We have to do business. You need places to keep your money. You need, you know, all of that. That's fine, right? Yeah. But if you're one of those credit unions that really supports that kind of movement, the divest movement, like, contact us. We'd love to help you. We'd love to work with you. We're really on the same side as far as that's concerned. But if you're Wells Fargo, right? I hope you burn in hell.
With a stick
Remember
up your
when
ass.
they got busted fucking making like accounts, you know, savings accounts without telling people. Didn't the guy he tried blaming the workers for it, but they put these $12 an hour guys, tellers. You know, they had to make all these fucking goals and stuff, so they put them under pressure,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then after, like, a couple of the tellers were all like, look, I can't do this. And they turned them in, like, reported them. And then Wells Fargo, you get, as a banker, you have like a permanent record like you would in school or something, right? And they went through and marked all of these guys as low as you could possibly go and pretty much destroyed their careers for calling them out.
Oh yeah, and you know, these guys were all under pressure under the topic's order, and did that guy get?
No, I mean, that's the like who's been in prison. Only guy that went to prison scandal's been Bertie. What? He robbed rich people, right? I mean, these guys tried to collapse the entire world economy and walked away. Not only did they make the money from all of the and all of that stuff, then the U.S. government paid off that bad debt. So you made it like second, and then they have the audacity to resell those same houses back to us again. So basically, we're buying those houses 3 times in a row. If anything, after the U.S. government said, look, we're going to pay you trillions of dollars to buy up this debt, why don't we own those houses? There's 30,000 homeless vets? Give them those houses. Right? There's all these people, like, the American people have already bought that, you know what I mean? Those houses once already. Those are ours. And it's not like it's a free ride, right? We already paid we taxed, you know what I mean? Our taxes paid for that. Those houses are owed to us.
What I love about Anonymous is Op Safe Winter. I think that's a really, really good cause. The old with the homeless on the streets. I do a lot of videos. I make a lot of videos for Op Safe Winter.
Yeah, and we try to, like, anytime, like, the Anons in Florida, like, we gotta give it to them. Like, anytime that we can hit the streets and do the one thing that they hate. You want to really fuck the system? Feed the poor. They hate that, right?
Didn't they try to make that illegal in Florida?
Yeah. The app that I was talking about, it's called Chef 90. There was this guy, Chef Arnold, right? And on his 90th birthday is when we launched the application. And it like distributes food. Let's say you have a couple of sandwiches, you own like a little mom and pop store, you got to throw them away, you know, within the next day. And I know where there's a hungry family, I can, or a couple of kids, whatever, right? I can pick up the sandwiches or the apples or whatever, and I can take it to them on my way to wherever. Easy, right? So he was down in Florida, and he was a 5-star chef at some of these at the hotels down there. And on Sundays, he would make a feast, a banquet for all of the people in need at the park. And the cops started busting him for feeding it. And you got to give it to him, man. He didn't stop. Right, as soon as they let him out of prison, he was back to feeding the poor. So we made that app so that people didn't have to sit in one place. Right, we still got to distribute the food. It was pretty much us hand walking it from place to the place that to someone that needed it, and then doing it at the next spot. And look, you could do it in your spare time. We're walking that way anyway. Pick the things of fruit, and look, I don't care if it's you that needs it. I don't care if it's me that you know what I mean. Just pick it up and give it to the people that we need it to. If you look at our food distribution right now, America alone, food to feed the world 3 times over. One time over, you could say, look. You know, that's just bad distribution, right? It's just not getting to the people that it needs to. 2, maybe you're hoarding a little more food too. It 3 times the amount of food just in America produces 3 times the amount of food. That's on purpose.
Yeah.
You know, I've noticed a lot of places throw out their food, and
what was it? I mean, countries
why people do that.
And even like I know that a lot, I don't know, I think it's France and a couple other have started requiring grocery stores, look, you can't throw away, you can't let food like that. They've really hit hard in food waste. But at the end of the day, producing enough food to feed everybody 3 times over. We could all be fat and happy at 3 times over. Everyone. But yet, starving. That's on, you know, they couldn't be anyone other times the amount of food that the world needs. Our farmers are kicking ass, you know what I mean? That's a huge amount of food, but
population control.
Yeah, I think that has something to do with it. And once people are hungry, they're less likely to work for you as slaves. Like once they're full, right, they're much less likely to work for you as slaves.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm pretty full, man. I don't want to work myself to death in the middle of your mine for computer parts. Thanks. But y'all have a great day. So yeah, I mean, some of that is you have to keep people starving. Starving person will do anything. You know, you'll do it once I don't know if any of you guys have ever been hungry, but if you've ever been truly hungry,
you'll do anything
to get
food. Yeah.
You'll do anything to get food.
Yeah, me being a drug addict, yeah, I know what that's all about. Getting homeless and shit.
I've had anorexia, and I've gone the other way where some people were saying I was fat, so I would starve myself to make myself basically. So, yeah.
You know,
no,
there's
that's a nightmare. No,
go
ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you ever hear about the stories in Venezuela? You know what's going on right now. People are, there's no food in the supermarkets. People are literally killing each other over food. It's a bad situation. People will literally do anything to get food. Have you ever been in a really bad situation?
And I can't be mad at somebody for that.
I'm trying to get back into eating, but because it was a complex for me because I was getting bigger, and it was my ex, and she was telling me I was getting really fat, and then I got OCD anyway, so it kind of made me anorexic, you know.
Yeah, say, man, it's probably better you got rid of her.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that she's your ex and not like, oh, this woman that's obviously been torturing me is sitting right next to me.
She's not yet.
Well, let's see if she's one of the trolls.
Oh God, if my ex was one of the trolls, one of my exes, I'd be like, you really? Really? I know that voice from somewhere.
And I know it hasn't been on the news, but there's several of the women warriors here at Standing Rock that they've been on hunger strikes. I think we're going on 13 days now. And it hasn't been it's been broadcast in the news anywhere. Post all of their name, kind of a little bit about them, but they're not, I mean, and I don't have that kind of strength, not even close. If you guys knew what the difference in the world here, our woman warriors here are more hardcore than I could ever be. Right? And yeah, some of them are like, look, we are not going to eat until until this is done. So I want to make sure that they're because yeah, man, they're at like 13 days now. And there's no man, I couldn't
Are they going on
go
a
13
liquid?
days.
Are they just going on a liquid diet, or are they completely just famine?
No food. No
Holy
food.
shit!
That's insane.
Only water, prayer, smudging, but no food. And they're going
So,
on 13 days.
Christian Bale machinist.
I don't even know if I'd be able to even have. Dude, my
Yeah.
body would start freaking
no,
out.
look, make no mistake, right? We will never be as hardcore as Nar. I
Dude,
shit
that's
you
more
not.
hardcore than me, dude.
I have never like. Look, when they start shooting like the rubber bullets and they're hitting with gas and stuff, I'm like ducking and weaving and trying. You know what I mean? Like, these women will walk right up to the line. They don't give a fuck.
Women are badass.
Oh yeah, and I'm not even. I mean, and they're not.
Hell
It's
yeah.
not. It's not even. I mean, you'll see grandmas. They will straight up like walk right up to the line. Right up to the line. And look, and like I said, dude, I'm ducking and weaving and trying to, sure I'm not an easy, right? And no. And you know what I mean? Like they will walk up, you know what I mean? In the middle of it while these bullets are swinging by them, getting hit with flashbangs and all of that. And no, there's no stopping them. I do not on their bad side.
So nuts.
Oh, guys, happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
I'm single again.
4:15 in the morning.
Okay. I'm reading this comment from earlier, and this was
Dylan,
my brainchild's.
Will you be my Valentine, Dylan?
Yes, I will.
Oh,
Okay.
I will, Jay.
All right. What do you guys think about this? Jody said she wanted to be on the show. I don't think we come to her. And what do you guys think about having a march on the end to the Federal Reserve? And I think she's got. Yeah, no, serious.
It has to be done. Look, it's a private bank running our country.
I think she's got it. She's already got it going. It's called the Nationwide March to the End of the Federal Reserve. I'm clicking on her link.
It's a guy.
Jody's a guy. Okay, my bad. My bad. All right.
Sorry, Jody.
They have all the banks listed here, and oh my God, they even have. Holy shit. We need to do this.
Yeah, look,
every day.
We got to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Like that's number one. Sorry, Wells Fargo, you're on the list, but you're underneath the Federal Reserve. And they've been from the founding of our country. I mean, from the founding of America. Like a good half of the founding fathers, like, nah, this is not a good idea. I absolutely hate Andrew Jackson, you racist motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
But he was sure as right about the Federal Reserve. It's one of those things. Never discount your enemy's good ideas just because they're your enemies.
Oh yeah, the Bank of England. What is it? The Bank of England is the other major one, right?
Right, and we started off with the Bank of England, went to the Bank of America, and then went to the Federal Reserve. But in actuality, they're all part of the same game.
Well, yeah, I think the Queen is the head of the. I think the Queen is head of the Masons. I think she's the head of the Illuminati, and I think the Rothschilds cousins to her, the bloodline.
They're definitely they're all related. I mean, if there's one thing you can give them, man, if we could organize even a little bit in the way that the 1% can organize, we'd be unstoppable.
Well, I think the Queen moaned that she only got 340 billion last year, and it should have been 360.
It should take a look. I mean, it's one of those things when you get to those like astronomical amounts of money, you're like, God, you couldn't take a pay cut. What's the extra billion? Do you really need that extra $1 billion? You've got an issue.
Yeah, because 1 million could set up a family for life. Like, she's such a bitch. Just sort out a family. Like, don't worry about the fucking 10 billion. 10 million out to the poor and sort them out.
Like on the other
how
end,
evil they are, though, doesn't it? It proves how evil royalty is.
Oh, exactly. And even then, you look at like Haiti, right? How much did we spend? Like something like dollars to try to repeat. We could have built every Haitian, a mansion, nice car, food, whatever. And no, where'd that all that mo? It's like that's always.
Did you ever hear the interviews on what actually happened in Haiti, where the money went to?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
just paid like
Hillary was
huge
involved.
contractors to come
Yeah,
in, and they
Hillary's
never did
friends.
it.
Yeah, Hillary's friends were involved in that shit. It was a fucking scandal.
But it's one of those things, like, even the it's just not something that's in my heart, but even the people that are running it, when you're like, okay, I'm going to try to feed the poor. All right, what do you need to do that? Well, I'm going to need you to give me $10 million, and then I'm going to give them 1,000.
I heard they didn't even. I heard they built like 100 houses, and they were supposed to build a school, and that's all that was done.
Oh yeah, with the amount of money, but that's with everything, right? We're going to spend $26 billion to build a wall instead of, I don't know, fix our veteran homeless problem.
I've already said this. Trump is a Pink Floyd fan. That's why he's building a wall.
Oh.
Have you seen that new? Did you see that new one I was posting around? Where I have these like weird delusions that Trump
We're
has
going to
the
be trending
intelligence
Pink
of like
Floyd
an
with
idiot.
Anonymous now.
No, he's like he has these like doodle drawings where like 3-year-old drawings were like, I have a cat, I drew a cat, this is a dinosaur. and like somebody made a meme out of it, like a little gif, where like he has the executive orders and it has A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, and he's showing it around and everybody's like
I wonder if he like uses the little refrigerator magnet and like posts them on the White House refrigerator. Look, I signed an executive order.
You get a gold star.
Yeah, the racist gave me an A. I love that. All right, so in Tennessee, they made it legal to run down protesters, right? You can run over a protester if they're blocking the road. Now, normally, they passed it, man. They didn't pass it here in North Dakota, oddly enough. But yeah, if you're protesting one of the latest, you're in a protest, it's legal for them to hit you with their car. Now, normally I'd be real pissed about that, but does that mean it works both ways? So next time they have a big-ass Klan rally, I can just mow those motherfuckers down with my truck? Fair enough, guys. Fair enough. You send me the date and the time, and we can sort this out right now.
We fucking mow them down big time.
Yeah, we can take care of this problem all at once. And look, you made the law. I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job.
What are the comments like, Dill?
Do we have that guy that's saying Trump is going to make America great again? I had a response. Okay.
Oh my god.
And this is a realistic response.
I reckon.
How? Okay.
The KKK would rather Obama in power than Trump.
Is that a real one?
I said earlier. I think they'd rather Obama in power.
Oh no.
You get it.
Here's the deal, guys. Like how much power? Okay, like Joe Rogan has I always thought he was an anon. I think the way he talks.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, but our president, there's a lot of fucking bullshit. Okay, there's a lot of sitting around and doing nothing, and people get blocked on doing this. How the fuck is he gonna fix a fucking broken system? He can't.
I think it's wild that you think a 70-year-old white billionaire gives a shit about blue-collar workers. Like, that's almost laughable, man.
Here's the thing is he's a puppet.
How much drugs does his wife need to get off with him? Because she's about 28, like, supermodel, and he looks like a fucking prune.
Oh, I think he's 70, so I think she's just waiting it out, right? When he finally croaks off, she's got another 50 years to spend his money.
That's a lot of money.
I don't know if I could, I don't know how. Yeah, but even then, like, at the end of the day, I don't know, you couldn't pay me enough money to fuck Donald Trump. Like, not, you know what I mean? Like, not in like a love-making way. Like, if the deal was, look, Trump, I'm gonna the shit out of you. That's not like a love thing. You know what I mean?
This is
Right?
class.
Why he
But
just waves around like some cocaine and $100. Here, it's time,
Yeah.
buddy. Yeah, it's time to do this.
I just can't see. I feel bad woman, you know what I mean? And like act like she's got to act like she likes it. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you're the best. I just can't buy. I don't buy it, man. That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare. Poor lady.
Which one of you commented on the freaking live stream? We give hearts because we are gay.
Oh.
That may have been a misunderstanding.
Oh, Valentine's Day, is it? Is it because me and you were Valentine's still?
Oh, is that maybe that's where they were making it because we were Valentines.
Oh, there's gonna be loads of hashtags going around.
It's from the page.
How big's the
Someone
reach?
from the page posted it as the page.
You ever read some of the comments on like some of the shit on Facebook? It's like, are you fucking like retarded, dyslexic, or like what's going on here, man? Like,
Oi, leave the retards alone. I'm autistic.
I don't know.
Oh no, you'll get down some of these conversations and you'll just be like, and it, like some of them you'll start out and you'll all be on the same page, and then by the end of the comments you're all like, what is this guy on?
That's the hey, being on the internet and drugs is a bad idea, especially when you're seeing shit.
Yeah, you'll end up sending out tweets in all caps.
And you'll be in a chat room with like 70 people like talking to yourself, you know?
Well, I would say it's like a blatant show of waste in our government, right? Trump uses 180 characters, right? Or 140 characters on Twitter to send out all these things. Anonymouses only need ones and zeros.
We don't profit at all. We just give. Well, real anons do.
I'd love to
zeros, have fun.
We should post on Trump's Twitter accounts just to give him a heads
Doesn't he
up.
have a fucking Facebook? I've been hearing rumors, you know, from our Canadian team that he's on fucking Facebook.
Really?
I can only imagine him getting set up for Facebook. That would be hilarious.
If he's on
I'm
Facebook,
I'm getting on the U-books and the face tubes.
Well, hell, I'm a troll now.
Yeah, let's post some anonymous videos on his Twitter account. Just tweet it.
Oh, and he's like he's a big enough man to make sure to reply to every single one. When we look at a troll and we're all like, oh, whatever, he's like, oh, I'm not going to take this crap. There's some 12-year-old in a basement talking smack. I need to answer. In basements. I'm just saying, right? I'm not going to respond to everything on my Twitter account, like on my Twitter feed.
You do realize that people are going to like start calling you things because of that in the comments.
Oh yeah.
Trump is a joker, isn't he? He's a proper joker.
No, I think we were talking about the CERN earlier. Now I have no real evidence of this, but I think we may have I think we may have accidentally went through some sort of wormhole where fucking Donald Trump is president. It doesn't seem real. Like we went through some. There has to be some. There has to be some reason. This doesn't seem right.
Well, they were trying to recreate the God atom, weren't they? They're trying to recreate the God atom or something, weren't they, in CERN?
Yeah, and I think they may have reset. They may have reset the system to the point where something crazy happened, like Donald Trump was president. Like they may have not meant to do it. You know, there were those theories that look, we could turn it on, they would hit, and it would create like a black hole, destroy the Earth or the universe or whatever, right? And they turned it on, and everything went fine. They're all like, okay, it's cool, nothing bad happened. We saw it, but then you noticed like little things like changed. You know, you woke up the next morning and it says, "Oh, Trump's president." And you're like, "Oh, fuck." All right, guys, we messed up bad.
How do we turn it off? Turn it off.
South Park episode. Trump's president. Oh my god.
Yeah, it doesn't. It seems like it. Honestly, I know he's been on TV so much and all of that stuff, but it seems like you're watching some sort of weird sketch on SNL where Donald Trump is president. Like he's playing president for that one moment. Even the way like he writes in stamp subs, he looks like a 3-year-old like daddy. Like when you like
don't eat
like
the
sitting
glue.
behind your desk. Yeah, out your mouth. Get that out your mouth.
He was in Home Alone. Do you remember him in Home Alone?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah, well it was because it was in one of his hotels.
Yeah, he was an extra, wasn't he?
I won't call anybody out here, right? Because I don't want to get anybody fired or any of that shit. But when Trump came out and said, "Oh, hey, I've never even heard there was an issue with Standing Rock. There's some controversy there, huh?" Right? When he made that whole statement, we started calling. We couldn't call the White House because that shit didn't work.
Oh yeah, because we posted all their fucking phone number.
Oh yeah.
Then I called everywhere. I called his golf resorts. I called all of that, right? So I don't know where the guy was from. You know what I mean? I don't know any of it. I call one of the towers, right? The guy with, let's go a little bit of an accent, answers, and I kind of say, "Hey, we're at Standing Rock, blah blah blah." And normally the people that we would get on, they literally just hang up the phone on us, right? And I don't know if he really did it. Maybe he was just giving us lip service, right? But we call and he answers the phone and he's all like, "Hey, we're like, look, we're from Standing Rock. We need to, we're talking to him. If he hasn't heard from us, we'd like to hear from it." And the guy's like, "Okay, I'll see what I can do." And he like puts us on hold and he's like away for a couple of minutes, back on. And he's like, I can't get you guys, I can't do it. And he lets us go, but dude, I think he gave it a try. I think he was all like, "Fuck this dude, I'll get him his number."
I remember like one time being drunk as fuck, like trying to call the fucking president. You'd be surprised how far you can actually get, dude.
I just can't believe that a guy that claims to sit around and watch TV all day has never heard of Standing Rock. Like, you have to be like, dude, have you been living like in a cave for the last year and a half?
Did you hear this? Did you hear this shit that he's not hearing about a racist agenda going on in America from anybody?
I'm
some
sure.
of the polls. No, I remember reading something about this. It's not like fake news, and I'm just like, because you live in a bubble.
Well,
I don't know
then,
what fucking universe. I have no fucking universe what you live in, and everybody around you is just agreeing with you. Maybe you need to fucking like, I don't know what you need to do, Trump, to fucking hit the fucking like reality hits you, but you're fucking retarded.
Even then, right? When he took the cake off the terrorist list. Right? If he didn't think that there was a racist agenda, even somebody that, let's say, okay, you didn't hear it. You just didn't notice that, the people around you seem to be racist and shit. Oh, yeah. So, like, when he did that, you'd think he would be reading this and be like, well, no, take KKK off of Hey, you guys aren't racist, are you? Right? Like, that would be a clear giveaway.
This must be they can't be the same thing. It must be a beer company. I don't know.
Well, the dude can't read, so maybe he thought it was like the Canine Kennel Club. You know what I mean? Like, he assumed that it was just. I don't understand why the Canine Kennel Club was on the terrorist watch list. They seem like good people to me, right? So I'm not exactly sure. Like, how he came to that conclusion. But normally, look, he made that whole deal. We can't let terrorists into America. We can't let terrorists into America. But he's a businessman, right? They hate competition.
What does he know?
Right? And that sounds about right. You don't want any extra. That's also good American jobs right there, blowing people up and killing my... We don't want those to go to people overseas, right? We have got perfectly good homegrown terrorists right here.
I say we dox fucking Trump. Let's dox him. What we do.
I reckon we probably could. I reckon we probably could get into a Twitter war with Trump if we started enough shit and had enough people answer it. He'll answer it.
We will be on the #1 terrorist list tomorrow.
Oh yeah, immediately trolling will become a class.
We're going to fucking jail.
Oh yeah, immediately trolling will become a class 1 felony. You got a guy in there. You got a guy in there, and you're like, "Oh, what are you on death row for?" I murdered like 15. What are you on death row for? I trolled Donald Trump.
Remember I told you the ultimate troll is just to spoof somebody's account and make it look just like his? Maybe I should make
I
one
bet
just
you.
like make
I
one
bet
just
you
like
20
Donald
bucks.
Trump's. Donald Trump.
20 bucks. I bet you 20 bucks. Fucking some combination. Donald Trump's password is some combination of money, dollar sign, dollar sign. I guarantee it, man.
That's all he sees.
Ever been to the Trump Tower and seen the Trump? I was like, dude, this fucking logo.
Oh my god.
Like he's like some sort of like superpower.
See him cutting a cake.
Yeah.
Did you see him cutting a cake when he got fucking elected? What a gimp.
Oh, I'm sure.
Cake,
I'm
like,
sure. I'm sure he
when-
does.
what
I'm
the
sure he
fuck you
does.
doing? Yeah, cut a big cake.
Let's get off subject here a little bit. What do you guys think of Batman? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he's
I
cool.
think
He's
I
a
think
superhero. I dig him.
I think he's like the antithesis of the 1%, right? When he's driving around in that $1 billion tank, there's like homeless people on the seat, alcoholics, drug addicts, crime. You don't think that maybe that $1 billion could have been used better in like a jobs program? Maybe like a Bruce Wayne fucking feed the homeless program. Like
Yeah.
you're rocking down my street in a $1 billion tank, shooting holes in my fucking bridges. I live under that bridge.
you know
And
what I
he's
got
just
a
he's
bit-
just cruising by in his fucking body armor suit. He is like the antithesis of the 1%. Like what's wrong with America? Feed some people, I bet you they'd quit stabbing each other.
Probably.
You know, Mr. Robot, brilliant show, shows people to be really, good at what they do. But the only thing that pisses me off about that show is, and this is it's corporate. We're watching it through mainstream, but it's about Anonymous. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's fucked up in it. But it's talking about hacking and stuff. So it's I don't know, it just spins me out a bit. It's a bit.
Oh, and I
Do you
love watching these like hacker films and these hacker shows and all of that stuff and all
We're
the like
Legion and
yeah,
Hacker
like
Wars.
like this ridiculous fucking programs and computer and all these things. Like they don't show us sitting in a fucking room for 18 hours looking at fucking code
Eating
or waiting
Cheetos.
for something. Yeah, like you have
Eating
no
Cheetos and like drinking energy drinks and lines of coke. Be like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here, man. I can't fucking figure it out.
Mountain
Why
Dew
can't I-
and monsters all over the floor.
yeah, like it's totally not a realistic. I don't know what glamorous world
They don't
y'all might live
understand
in.
HTML, do they? HTML is fucking annoying. I can't stand HTML. Oh,
Yeah.
solid. Do you agree, guys? We should be talking about this, really, should we? Okay, I'm just messing around now. I don't know.
It's easy.
HTML is probably the easiest one.
It's
Oh,
annoying.
man. I'm
though.
not like-
There's so much on the screen. You're
I've
just
been
like,
trying to learn Python. Oh my gosh, that's.
Oh,
Makes you want
that's
to hit
like
my head against the wall.
yeah. I was just about to say that. Like beat my face against something until I don't want to do this anymore. But that's also something that makes us so different than other organizations. You might try for a year, 2 years, 3 years to get into something. Most people don't have that dedication. You know, you can't fail 1 billion times before you finally are like, I got you, motherfuckers. Right?
I'm pretty
And
good
that's
on the guitar. I can play a tune. I can play a tune or two.
Oh yeah, every once in a while. I don't know if my bandwidth's like enough here to have a jam, but yeah, we can. If somebody we get enough views, we get 100,000 views. I'll play a song on the guitar, no doubt.
I'm in. All right, deal. Well, I'll do the rhythm. You could do the lead, or we can swap.
We're up to 6.2 thousand. How many did we have yesterday? 15,000 views.
Yeah, we had like
Yeah.
15,000.
We got to get going. If you guys are listening, right? And number one, comment. I know we don't read them as much as we should, but comment, and we'll try to kick some comments in here. But if you like what's going on, seriously, share our link.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
The more we get the more we get there's some shameless plug right there. But the more we get the word out, the better.
And
Hey,
when
after
Anonymous
this, we'll go
HQ,
try
we
and
don't have
find
official.
Donald Trump's Twitter, and we'll try and troll him.
Oh,
I'll have a straight up conversation with him.
Awesome
That's fine.
Trump.
It's the
Operation
same. It's the
Troll
same
Trump.
as before.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
and it's the same as before. Like nobody's called you, dude. Give me your number. I will call you. No problem. I've got service on my phone out here. We're good, man. I will call you. We can discuss some real business here. Cause maybe he doesn't know that he's surrounded by racists and he just needs somebody to like point him out and be like, look, dude, the hood's in the closet. Like there should be some dead giveaways here. If Donald Trump and his crew come out all wearing the same outfits and a little bit leather, fucking right, they went full on Nazi. You go from being like the Klansman kind of fucking racist to full on fascist Nazi when they'll have cute little matching outfits.
Do you think he's actually going to serve out his whole term? I don't think so.
Well, you would think not, and it sounds absolutely crazy, right? But he may fuck things up extremely well. But let me tell you about a guy named George Bush, right?
Oh yeah.
Will Donald Trump be able to invade an entire country, millions and millions and millions of people for oil money? Listen to every single person's conversation and start the NSA? I don't know, man. Those are some big shoes to fill.
You ever remember seeing Bush and just like this like look of one upstairs?
Thank you, Donald, for the Donald's
like
just spamming the heart button in the chat.
That should
Freezing
be
my computer.
Oh, he's going nuts. We must have pissed somebody off when you've got one of those dedicated trolls.
Do we have somebody
No,
with
he's
some
not.
name?
He's not a troll. I think he's good with the chat, or he's good with the live stream. I know him, so.
One of the friendly
Oh my
trolls.
gosh, the chat like blew up.
What?
Well,
Who are these guys? I'm clowns.
Clown
Right
sect?
now, guys, we're like so off topic, but that's because we don't have everyone here.
Oh yeah, well look,
this stream.
if you have like a topic that you would love us to talk about, that's fine.
I think it's been
Second of all, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Definitely not a clown. I'd go with Jester. You know what I mean? I will mock the king straight to his face. And I get the cool hat.
How about this one, guys? Hashtag Pizzagate.
Oh, we were gonna get on a special guest on about that. You know, he's probably the to go about. I will not give up his name because I do. But there is a lot of truth to what was going on in Pizzagate. Like I said before on the other show, I just kind of had to step away from the whole Pizzagate crowd because I do have an understanding of the knowledge of how deep and how twisted and what it's tied to. But the second I try some stuff, it's almost as though the people that I was dealing with were so hyper-focused. It was like anything that had all these hidden symbols was a pedophile. And, you know, there was a lot of fucking truth to what was going on there. I don't know how deep it was, but the guy that we were going to get on here, he would be the best guy to go to. But I don't know what's your guys' take on it.
I used to work in Southeast Asia. We built schools, brought in high-speed internet, did some training, teach English, things like that, right? I can tell you without a shadow of doubt from being in Cambodia, extremely wealthy European and Americans from all levels of those wealth, you know, I'm talking doctors, politicians, that level of people, they pretty openly buy children in Cambodia.
And Thailand too.
Yeah, well, Thailand, they're not big into the child slave trade as much in Thailand. They're really like, you can get all of the Thai hookers that you want, all the lady boys that you can handle, okay, whatever your thing is. But Cambodia was specifically children. The only reason that you saw old Westerners there was for children. And these clowns would walk down the street holding hands like it was their girlfriend with an 8-year-old.
Oh, sick.
And the police wouldn't do anything about it. The politicians wouldn't do anything about it. And I can tell you from experience, if you try to castrate one of them in the middle of the street, you will have to leave the country in a hurry.
Oh my god.
Okay, this is breaking. This is breaking. Oh no, wait, that was yesterday. Never mind. I don't know. I'm on a bunch of pages. I don't check anything. Apparently, there was a magnitude 7 earthquake in the Philippines.
Fuck.
I literally have like a whole bunch of pages of stuff.
Guys,
of
what's your
topics to
take
talk
on
about.
what's your take on Zuckerberg? He was trying to take over Hawaii, wasn't he? Taking over
Oh yeah,
some
he was trying to
ritual
kick
plots.
he was trying to kick the indigenous off of the corner of his island on like a
Similar thing to
1,000-acre
no
farm.
DAPL,
Yeah,
but like a different, situation, but similar, isn't
yeah.
it? He was trying to.
Say, I don't know. I've said it before, but man, fuck you, Zuckerberg. Like, I don't know what. I mean, it's not hidden that he works for his deal was. I mean, he got that medal from the CIA. So I mean, they normally don't give you a medal from the CIA for nothing. So that's not real hiding. The kicking the indigenous off of your mansion property in Hawaii that you're not even at.
I seen his
Fuck you,
docs
man.
online. I seen Zuckerberg's docs. Someone dropped his docs about a month ago in one of the
I can
offices.
tell
It
you
was
this
funny
much.
as fuck.
I can tell you this much, Zuckerberg. Don't hire a local chef for cleaning lady, because you're gonna eat a lot of spit being a dick like that.
I saw that docs too, and people were somebody was telling me that doc wasn't legit.
Man, he probably wasn't.
Actually, call the number.
Yeah.
No,
No, exactly.
No. Didn't call it.
no, I didn't.
Oh,
call it.
I'm back, by the way. Sorry. Just
Yeah, the
checked
number
that.
Oh,
was
right,
what?
what did you say, Tyler? No, I didn't call the number. No.
Okay, so here's something funny about the Million Mask March I was at. So we're all obviously like in the streets and stuff, and all of a sudden the riot team comes, and literally the moment they come, we were all yelling at them, and for some reason, I guess they didn't want to enforce us. They literally
Hey,
just
Arthur.
looked at us and they
What's up,
left,
man?
and we were singing "Na na na na, hey hey goodbye" or whatever to them. Yeah, I actually have the video, and it was so amazing. I'll have to share it in the chat later.
Strike one
you
for the good
Yeah, I
guys.
want to see that.
I'll
For
share
sure.
that for you guys. It was amazing. It was so funny.
Guys, you'll have to check out the Million Mask March video I made, man. It went viral on and on news.
Were you the
and
one
on
that?
Worldwide
Were you
News.
the guy that did the UK one with the guys throwing the Molotov cocktails?
Did I
No,
make that?
Yeah. Yeah.
we weren't
Yeah. No
throwing
so
Molotov
many.
cocktails. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that for everyone that sits here. We were not throwing Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, maybe.
No,
Yeah,
it
we're
was
not
not
admitting
us.
to any of that.
No,
What you're
no.
talking about.
In fact, I quite sternly told them, do not make Molotov cocktails.
Oh, they're so easy though. Like you just need some glass and a towel, man.
At least now
And
we
the way
know
it
where they
spreads.
got them from, Tyler.
Tyler's been on them.
So we're earlier we were
Have you-
talking about just
guys, have any
weird
of you got
stuff.
Cody? Guys, have any of you got Cody?
What?
You know Cody? Cody is like
What do you like Linux?
like an Android, like an Android streamer.
Oh no, I don't.
There's an app on there. There's an app on there that teaches you how to build
Yeah, it's
bombs.
for free TV, free movies and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There's
have
an
that.
app on there that teaches you how to build bombs and stuff.
Is it really?
Oh wow.
Holy
Yeah.
crap!
I seen it.
I just
I
watch
will have to
movies on it.
say, my one of the most hilarious stories in the last in 2016 was that like IED bomb maker in Iraq was like giving a class and ended up blowing himself up and all the other terrorists that were in the training thing. That is absolutely hilarious. Like I realized that it would have been yeah. I wish I could have been like
safety. It's like that gun safety video where the cop is teaching how to use guns safely and shoots himself in the class.
yeah. Or what was that guy shot that old lady. That cop shot that old lady in the middle of a class for some reason in what to do if you were an assailant or some shit and fills this lady with holes on the way by. You're an idiot.
Tit.
So we were talking about controversial or like weird stuff earlier. Have you guys heard of the hum phenomenon?
Yeah, where people hear
Phenomenon.
like a hum that's kind of in the ear, that's kind of in the air all the time.
Yeah, what
Oh
do you
my
think that
god.
is?
Well,
Beano,
I'm seeing a couple of different. Oh no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
there was a similar phenomenon. If I'm a psychedelic guy, and when you do a lot of DMT, you hear the same humming thing, and it's not tinnitus; it's actually something going on in the. But it is exactly. I have no clue.
Well, and then the Earth has a hum, right? Like a decibel that you can pick
You're not
up.
going to
That's
tell
like
us
the
it's flat here.
natural.
Terrence,
What?
please don't say you're going to say it. Don't tell us the earth is
No,
flat.
no,
Oh
no,
my
no.
god.
Oh man,
Oh
Oh
I
my
went
gosh,
through.
god.
no.
I went through. I've went
I was
through.
about
I've
to
went
jump
through.
out the window.
Oh
I
my!
don't think people have posted like the world is flat thing, and I can't even deal
Oh,
with it, man.
dude, it's every time I see one of those.
I think the best like example of that is like, okay, so you're telling me everything in the universe by a telescope, right? Everything in the universe is fucking round except for the Earth. It's just winging through space like a frisbee.
Yeah.
Who's that famous guy? He's the guy, the guy with the white hair, the British guy that says the Earth is flat. Smart as shit, but I'm just like, really, dude? Really?
Are we talking about what did he used
You
to
know
be
what?
like a sports commentator, didn't he?
He's smart guy, but
Yeah, that's like it. A lot of times you'll get into discussions with people and you'll agree on like 99% of stuff. Like even he,
Oh,
like you'll
yeah.
you'll talk to somebody that's far right, and at first it seems like you guys are on the same page. I don't want the government all up in my business. I believe in personal rights, and you're like. Yeah, I believe in personal rights. I don't want the government in my business. I don't want the NSA listening to me. Yeah, I dig it. And they're like, oh, I believe in like land sovereignty, so the government can't come in and use eminent domain. They'd be like, yeah, and then they'll say something like, oh, and then we need to round up all the Mexicans, and you're like, no, whoa, where the hell did that come from?
yeah, it's like the guy in the corner that's doing something weird. You're like, what are you talking about?
But the
Guys,
flat man,
do
the
you think,
flat
do you
Earth.
think
I've got a
Trump
couple
is
of
going to
friends
start?
in.
Sorry,
And
Ken.
no disrespect, right? But I've got a couple of friends, and I have a like running joke that it's a countdown to flat Earth, right? It doesn't matter what
What
I
the hell was
post.
that? Was that a
They'll,
werewolf? Did anyone hear
It's
that
Tyler.
growling? Did anyone hear that?
I'm so out in the middle of nowhere. The fact that there's like wild animals running around, I
Watch,
wouldn't
don't get
notice.
fucking eaten now. You nutter.
Oh no, like there's wolves running around the camp. I don't know if you guys have seen them.
I think I just heard one. Just heard something weird.
Yeah. There's nothing. I'll tell you, man. There is nothing like coming out. You're minding your own business, taking a piss. You come out of the thing and look into like 4 or 5 wolves out there, and you're like, oh, this ain't gonna end good. Oh, nah, they like sniff for a minute and then take off. But there's always like a moment that you open the door and you're like, what's up, guys?
So we were
Just
talking about
chilling.
weapons earlier. Have you guys heard of Greek fire?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was was that the one that the oil that they kind of turned into a flamethrower back in the day?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
put on front of boats and they'd spray it
Yeah.
apparently, and it
Yeah.
like yeah.
Guys, have you heard of a government weapon where they go in vans and they like shoot like rays at people and it like messes with you, makes you feel ill and shit and disorientated? Have you heard about it?
They've got an aerial denial system here at Standing Rock. And if they turn it all the way up, it hurts your ears. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't believe, man. Even with the earplugs in. I'm pretty sure most of the water protectors that have been here and been exposed to it have hearing loss and damage from it.
Fuck no.
But if they turn it to different settings, it can make you sick. It can fuck with equipment. It can do all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah, I was
And
seeing.
that's
I did some
that has
research
to
on
do. I
this.
think it works in like 95 or 92 gigahertz. spectrum, and that seems to be the one that like affects your hearing and your skin. It'll make your skin burn and shit. It's crazy.
Doesn't it also it does some neurological damage and organ
Well, like,
damage from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it makes
when
you
they
shit
like
yourself
hit
and
you with
throw
it,
up.
yeah, when they hit you, well, and it's one of those things like how do you know, because the constant like tear gas and flashbangs are also very disorienting.
Right.
Yeah.
And the
Guys,
mace, I'm sure the mace gets in your face.
What's your take on false flag events and stuff? Do you think what's your take on that?
Well, I'll take this for example, right? So what do you guys, I mean, between like Americans that are on here, do you guys remember what got us into World War One?
It wasn't a dispute between some.
But what got America into the war?
No, I don't.
So we said that they blew up one of our ships with a submarine, right?
Right.
Well, I guess they didn't expect
Right, the
anybody to go
U-boat.
down there and check. Yeah, and it turns out the explosion came from inside of the ship. Chances are it was a false flag.
9/11 all over.
Yeah.
Or the original, I
So
guess.
then we go on to World War II, right? Well, we were told by the Japanese that they were going to attack.
They were funded by both
Oh
sides.
yeah, we knew like
and knew they were
a week before.
and knew that they were coming, but we didn't do anything about it for some reason and moved our best ships out into the middle of the ocean. So chances are that was also a setup. So let's move on to Vietnam, right? So what got us
the
into
Gulf of
Vietnam?
Tonkin, Gulf of Tonkin, totally
Exactly.
Are we still live, guys? Are we still
And
live?
that's
I don't know,
I
I'm
don't
getting
know.
a voice call
I'm
right
getting
now.
phone calls. So I'm getting
Yeah,
phone
they're
calls, so
calling
I'm
me
not sure
over
if
to
we've
this
been
other
taken
one.
off.
I think Kevin's
Dylan, are we
trying
still
to
live?
get in. Let me check
well,
real
is
quick.
somebody
It was
is somebody
Rage. Rage is
monitoring?
trying to call us in.
Yeah.
I think our admin went to
It
sleep.
was Kevin.
Well, check and see on the page. I know I
I'm
posted
getting a
mine, but
message. I just asked them if they wanted us to come over there or something.
Oh, it's
yeah.
live.
I'm
All right,
tired as
so we
fuck,
go
over
man.
there.
so we go
Yeah,
down
he
to
said it's
the
gone again.
Gulf of we go onto the Gulf of Tonkin, right? Which is totally a setup, and that one they've admitted to all of that, right? If you take that as as the standard, if 9/11 wasn't a setup, it would be the only time that we went to war that wasn't.
Guys.
We're off live right now.
We're offline right now. We've been offline for how long? Half
Half an hour.
an hour.
Oh yeah, half an hour. It still says like it's.
Good chatting though.
It
Yeah,
still
yeah.
says we're online.
Yeah, it still says that we're on.
Huh. Maybe
I don't know. It's,
I don't know.
Someone just check the live stream and see if we're still like turn it down so we don't get the echo.
Anyone?
Yeah,
I don't know,
think
it's
we're
weird.
still live.
We are.
No, I'm talking to somebody else who was watching us, and apparently we're not. They got cut off, they said. Or I was booted from the chat.
Oh,
Booted.
weird.
Yeah.
Well, the video's gone as well.
Oh, someone said live. They're saying live
Oh,
in
right.
chat.
In the chat.
Yeah, they're saying live. I can
Ronan's
see it.
saying it won't let him in.
Hold on, let me check.
Oh,
I'm gonna have.
Yep, still
Ronan's
live. Loki
talking
said we're
about the
still
call.
live. Okay. I'm going to take
Yeah,
the
yeah.
call, see what he's
Ronan's calling
saying.
me.
I'll be right back.
Roll, let me try press him in. Yeah.
Well,
It
let's
says I'm already in the
try
call.
Has anybody in the comments like what kind of do we have any questions up? We haven't really. I think we've only answered like 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're still live.
Through.
Yeah, we're still live, guys. I'm getting
Okay.
told we're live. We're live, we're on, we're good.
I think we're having some technical difficulties with some of our
Members.
Yeah, I'll keep us
Yeah.
posted if we're live right now. I'm just kind of over here talking to somebody.
Facebook's just trolling us.
Fuck Facebook. Hey, Zuckerberg, get your ass out of here.
Yeah. But I will say, right?
Yeah, Terrence, what is your
Eventually-
take? What is your take on 9/11? Because we've all talked about it tonight, and I don't think
Oh
we
yeah,
talked
look,
too much
look.
about you.
There was no doubt that it was dirty, right? Will we ever find out like the details of exactly how dirty it was? Probably not for a while, but 100% it was dirty.
Do you reckon they
know-
sketched up fucking Bin Laden and fucking made him a boogeyman? You know, like problem, reaction, solution, PRS.
Yeah, I'm getting blown up for these calls, but oh well.
Oh yeah,
We're
for
live.
sure,
We're staying
for
live.
sure. And I mean, if you look at like the connection between our government and Saddam Hussein and also Bin Laden, you can even see our reaction to Saudi Arabia. That didn't change anything.
Yeah, where were the weapons of mass destruction, and what exactly were they fucking looking for? You know?
That's something that's always like completely bothered me, right? Because these are some really evil people. They'll manipulate an entire country to invade another country, but yet you couldn't plant any weapons of mass destruction. You know,
I
like
know,
George
right?
Bush never took a trip and was like, "Oh yeah, I found them."
What
Yeah, it's like you know, just put a fucking nuclear bomb someplace we could
It
fucking
wouldn't
take
even
it. You
look if
know?
look. It doesn't take a lot for the people to like to buy it. You know what I mean? One little bit
Do
of
you know
fucking
what it was?
weapon, yeah.
They were looking for
Remember
Bin
when I
Laden
was talking
for
earlier
like
about Al Qaeda, and
yeah.
when Osama bin Laden heard that Al Qaeda existed, he's like looking around like, "What the fuck is Al Qaeda?" No, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that it has like some other meanings, like there's an acronym that the CIA was using. I mean, at the end of the day, right, the CIA trained the Mujahideen, and the Mujahideen are Al Qaeda. But
Yeah.
if there's a terrorist organization in the world, we trained them.
But you know what I find funny is we were hunted down Bin Laden for what was it 8 years, and then when we finally found him and it was a massive deal, we just dumped him in the sea. No one
Yeah,
said anything.
and then unicorns and
Oh, we got
mermaids
Bin
were
Laden.
coming
We
around.
jumped
That's
him in
such
the
a
sea.
fucking fairy tale story, dude.
Yeah,
Dumped
we
him in
didn't,
the sea.
we didn't take any pictures. We didn't take
No
him to the international
pictures, no
criminal.
proof,
Oh
no
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, and he was living in Pakistan in a retirement community. Come on, dude, some guy with kidney dialysis was living in a
And,
fucking cave, running a
and
fucking international terrorist organization.
Well,
Like, what the
you
even
heard
fuck?
why they
then,
said it, right? They said it's because he was mutilated beyond recognition, so they just dumped him off because they shot him so
Yeah,
many times.
boogeyman.
yeah,
They
but
boogeyman him, didn't
even
they?
then, right? How old was Osama bin Laden? Right, like
Wasn't
90.
he like something like that?
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, having the CIA kick open your door and fill you full of holes, man, at 90, that's really natural causes.
Oh, guys, have you seen that fucked up shit on the internet, man? Fucking, I know it's not real, but there's a video of Bin Laden and fucking Obama morphing into each other. Like when they cut about the beard, that is fucking weird.
I think
I
I've
know it's
seen
not
that
real, but
actually.
watch it. It's fucking nuts.
It's a little
It looks
different.
really good.
There was some guy who was pointing out in these Bin Laden videos is that he was not only changing in his features, but he was also getting younger in his videos.
Yeah, he looked completely different than like the person that we knew. But I wouldn't put it above. Look, they made it legal for. It's always been legal for the U.S. government to put out propaganda. So I mean, they're not denying that it's propaganda. They don't deny that they put out propaganda. So the fact that they found, that they made a production that said what they wanted to say, that's pretty much standard psychological
Yeah,
warfare for
Jihadi
those.
John it was done in a studio.
Yeah, that 100% I believe.
Guys,
Like,
I'm not
they,
racist, right? But you know, like Muslims, one problem I got with Muslims, and I think you will agree with me. Why the fuck do they marry kids?
What?
They're allowed to marry kids. They marry, like they can marry at the age of fucking 9 or 12. I seen something online the other day. Actually, it was one of the trolls that posted it.
and I agree. They're child molesters, but that's such a small minority. Extremists, Mormon compounds are extremist in America also marry children, but the mass
Shia Muslims
majority
and
of
Sunni, is it? Sunni and Shia?
yeah.
Sunni
Well,
are
I mean,
good.
there's like 1,000 different kinds of brands of Muslim. The same way that there are, there's almost no similarities between a Catholic and a Baptist, but yet they're both considered Christian. And yeah, extremist groups do tend to marry children extremely young. And those extremists in most cultures that are extremists like that, for some reason, prey on small children. I think number one of it is because you're not going to talk a woman that's lived her entire life at 21 that somehow she needs to be your pet dog.
Yeah, no, I know.
But they do sensationalize something that's a very small minority. In the same way that we don't sensationalize the same events that are happening in extremists in other places in the world.
Oh yeah, we have
But
extremists.
that doesn't change it being completely and utterly wrong either. And I think most Muslims would agree with that?
Oh my god, I just had a Valentine's thing. I'm going to show you it. It's funny. I'm not saying who it's from though, because it's Valentine.
What?
I just had some picture come through. Valentine's thing. It's Valentine's Day, yeah?
Yeah.
It's anonymous. Where? Show you it now.
Hold
If
on.
I can get a camera on. Oh. How do I get the camera on? Oh, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. And basically, I've just been sent a fucking Valentine's. I'm not lovely. It was you, Dylan.
Yeah, it's totally me.
Cheers, Dill. It's lovely. I love the hearts.
I'm gonna send like 10 more. I'm just kidding. What are you talking about? Send it to me.
No, all
You're
jokes aside,
supposed
I
to be
just
my
did get sent
Valentine's,
something.
dude. Gosh,
Yeah,
I
go
haven't even
back
gotten
to
the
that, man. Sorry
message.
about that. It popped up on my screen, and I had to say that. I felt loved. Any of you
We've
guys
been
had anything?
talking for so many hours.
Yeah, how long have we been on?
I don't know.
3 hours.
And then
All
we
right,
also
all
had
right.
the other ones, other times. We were just talking.
All
Other
right, guys.
streams.
I gotta get back to it. We're gonna do some fun stuff tomorrow. So.
Cool
Yeah,
talking with you, man.
Yeah. I'll be back.
feel
If
free
I
to
can, yeah, if I
Yeah,
can
hop back on
get
tomorrow,
sorted. Yeah, like what time do you guys normally start? Shit, 3 hours ago.
Like 10
Yeah,
Eastern.
Well, and maybe
around 10.
we'll try to post a little bit about it and see if we can't get some bigger numbers. I'm still putting it out there, right? We
I
reach
like the countdown,
100,000.
by the
I'll
way.
sing you a song.
Oh,
The countdown was useful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so-
We had 3,000 people watching us just on the countdown. We weren't even there. We were like celebrities. Like 3,000 views.
It was silent too. The first one, remember, is silent.
They were waiting to see what we had to say. That's good though. That's good. I mean, geez, 3,000 core people, man.
It's good. It's good we're putting out there as well that we're like real and we're not like these official and anonymous HQ. We don't have a HQ and we're no official. We're everyone.
We don't
we're an
have the
idea.
voice changer. Well, sometimes, but
Nah, we're
morning
100%.
voice changer.
We're 100% for the people.
Yeah, I can't stand that part of Anonymous that proclaims like make videos on YouTube and then it makes loads of profit, makes T-shirts, and then doesn't give anything back. It's basically ripping off a free idea.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you want to talk about that before you go there, or?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, anytime, and I've had other people that I've came across that are like, oh well, what's the monetary value? I hate to be the one to tell you this, but if you're fighting for the poor, they're already poor. They don't have any fucking money, right? So to say, oh, I'm going to make money off of it is absolutely insane, and not to give it back. Look, we understand you got to keep the lights on. We understand you might have expenses to keep the project of Anonymous or the People's Voice going. That I completely understand.
Yeah.
But if you're going in, you know what I mean, and it's paying for your luxury, it's paying for your cars and your stuff like that, come on. If your bank is in zero and you're trying to feed the poor, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're, a multi-millionaire or if you're at the bottom with the rest of us, right? That I completely understand.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, man.
And it's paying for your luxury. It's paying for your cars. And I think we're getting like a
massive feedback.
Yeah, we're getting tapped. We're getting tapped by Zuckerberg. Hey,
yeah, we
Zuckerberg.
mentioned. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this much, Zuckerberg. Right? Eventually, no. I'll give it to you this way. Right? Eventually, we will build another social market. We'll take all of that advertising away. Right? We'll take all of those stupid little games that you play away and the tracking people away, and they'll hold on to Facebook for just as long as they held on to MySpace. People won't even remember it. We will
he's like, you see shit like this, that's been going on, them killing accounts, and now you need an ID to fucking
He
make a
just
new
opened the door
account.
for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, at the end of the day, the people that are on Facebook, they'll be just as loyal to you as everybody was to MySpace. It'll be a joke.
Yeah.
Remember when the CIA tried to make a social media network and we eventually just came out with a real one? Thanks for giving us the blueprint, though, dude. Nice work. Nice work. But, yeah, why don't you let the indigenous that actually live on their island, you jackass? All right, guys, I'm going to call it in.
Okay.
Stand with Standing Rock.
It was nice having you on
We're
here,
with
man.
you.
Yeah, I
Standing
will.
Rock.
I'll definitely try to get back on and
Okay,
I don't
bro.
know anything. You know what I mean? But I got heaps of questions.
Yeah. You have.
We got questions for you too, so
Yeah, you got some good info as
it'll
well
work
for us,
out.
haven't you?
All right, guys. I'll see you later.
Catch you later.
Yeah.
See you, mate.
Should we call it?
We've been on for almost 4 hours.
All right.
What do you want to talk about, Tyler? I will stay on for another 10.
I think we just looped back around. I noticed we started
I'm
talking
having a
about
laugh,
things we
right?
started on.
It's just fun. Let's have fun. Talk about anything.
That's what we've been doing. We talk about everything.
Evolution starts tomorrow.
That's
Yeah.
where we started. See, we're wrapping back again.
We are the 99%, maybe.
Isn't there? What is this Operation Resistance? Isn't that supposed to go down by the end of this month? Like what is it?
Yeah, op
28?
resistance. I don't know. Like, I've seen a lot of ops that say a lot of stuff, and God bless them, for trying, and then nothing happens. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't know these guys. I don't know who's pumping up the
Right.
videos.
Well, I mean, the first 5 seconds of the video looked pretty good to me. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I've seen some shit that looked about right, but good luck getting the world to do that. Like you could hear the guy videotaping it saying, step back, don't go, they'll never let you out. Like that guy was scared. He was like, get the fuck out of the way. And that's how most of the world's going to be about it. Unfortunately, nobody's ready to lose their freedom for freedom. Nobody's willing to lose their jobs. Nobody's willing to go to jail. Nobody's willing to get beat up. Nobody's willing to get pepper sprayed. Like, fuck it, I'll take it,
Yeah, but then again, who knows if the guys who made the video, I don't even know the source of it. What if they're related to the guys with, the J20? Then they might actually have a real backing force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
It's almost as though
Guys, what do you
I don't know
think
the
about
source.
if it comes to the worst, the dollar collapses and we're all fucking, the economy collapses, it's all fucked.
I've been hearing.
Do you think we could survive?
I've been hearing that from a lot of economists. For the last 3. The U.S. dollar is going to basically crumble under itself. They're underreporting. They're underreporting how much we're actually in debt. When society collapse on itself, I think that we're used to painting a picture of the sky is gonna fall and there's gonna be all this famine and bullshit. All we need to do is really relearn on how to rethink society and do it real fast.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, when the bailouts with the banks, in 2008, with all that shit that went down, all these bigwigs and people would have a lot of money. They were saying that if you don't bail out the banks, there's gonna be all these fucking problems. The sky will fall. None of that shit would have happened.
If these terrorists are real, right? The only thing, the best thing they could do to fuck up the world would be to close down the internet. Can you imagine if someone closed the internet, if they hacked the internet so bad, like a fire sale, and they fucking destroyed the internet, and then fucking the world would be fucked. We'd be fucked if the internet goes down. We go into meltdown. It would be really, really bad. I know it doesn't. You've got to think about everything that's linked to these days. Think about it. If it went down, it'd be insane, wouldn't it?
Yes.
You know, if the
I,
design, it's almost impossible to take it down.
Yeah, I know. But if someone like actually figured it out
Didn't they take
and
it down?
attacked, and
I
we
thought, who was it?
that way, it'd be
Sorry.
fucking catastrophic, wouldn't it, to terrorist attack the internet?
Didn't, Red Colt or, Ghost Squad, I don't know, somebody, I don't remember the name.
They're going by the New World Order hackers, and then
Yeah, those guys.
then you know, that was even a rumor. We will never really know who did the DYN
The East Coast,
DDoS.
yeah, the whole thing went down though. They took down Twitter, Spotify, Facebook, everything on the entire East
Fuck.
Coast. All went down.
Oh yeah, with that botnet.
Yeah, I was that was back in the day when I was still kind of rolling with Red Colt, you know, back. God,
I don't know. That video came out like a couple of weeks after.
they were claiming it was them, and the next thing I knew, the New World Hackers was claiming it was them, and then there was some big old battle between
Well, I got
Red
the
Colt and
news.
them.
I got the news on Twitter that New World Order hackers did that like the day after, and then it was I the story that I heard before it that we were doing it in retaliation to Julian Assange, and I was just like, when you're dealing with a botnet on that scale, you'll never know who did it or for what reason, and nobody who's going to do something like that is going to post it publicly, at least not out in the open, Because from what I heard,
What's your take on
the
Julian,
New World
boys?
Order hackers were kind of retired like 3 years ago.
Yeah. What's your take on Assange, man? What do you think's going on there? Do you think he's safe for?
Well, last I heard, he was supposed to be. He's been leaking a lot of stuff on Twitter. You guys been seeing that? He's just been flooding Twitter with just crazy stuff, everything, like
No
anything
shit.
and everything he has. He's just been flooding it recently,
Fuck.
and the rumor is that he has a deal worked out. He's gonna turn himself in. He's gonna
Oh
come
my
back to
God.
America. That's the last
Shit.
thing I heard. I have a lot of this posted on my WolfSec page.
Oh, sweet. I'll have to check it out. Oh.
Yeah, it's just anonymous WolfSec. It's all
Do we
blue
still
and
have proof
pretty.
of
I
life
like
that
it
he's
that
even
way.
alive?
Anyways, yeah, I got a whole bunch of posts up on the wall, a bunch of stuff he's been releasing, stuff about Pizzagate, stuff about just everything he found. He's letting it all out. He's done hiding, according to what his Twitter is saying.
Fuck, no.
For a while, I heard, it was just some of his like posts, or they didn't even seem, they were just absolutely fucking bizarre. It was like somebody else was doing it for him, and then he was saying that, some of the stuff was saying about us was true, but it just didn't seem like something Assange would say,
Right. He's kind of done a lot to just turn around and let it go.
I don't know if I think for a while he wasn't even in control of his own Twitter account.
When he's
You
over there
think
in
you got
Russia, they're
fucking
pulling strings.
cloned?
I just thought of something, guys. How do we stop the live stream?
Well, there's still viewers.
Anon went to bed, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Honestly, I'm about ready to go to bed. It's a
Yeah,
little
man.
after midnight here.
I'm
How
pretty
do we
fucked
stop
as
the
well.
live stream then?
I don't know
He's
how
the
to
one
stop it.
streaming it.
We're just sitting here talking, dude. It's cool. Hey,
Who's streaming? Who's doing that?
I don't know.
We're not gonna say that on
Yeah,
Yeah, we're in his
all
real
a big
name,
secret.
Oh,
but
no, his real name. I mean, do we know who it is in the chat so that we can
I believe
stop it?
so.
I don't want to say
he went to
his name on
bed.
yeah, dude.
Oh, right. Sorry, I'm getting lagged.
He's the one not talking in the call right now.
Right, okay.
Been here the whole
I'm
time
getting
and not
lagged,
saying
right.
nothing. Arm, right?
Yeah,
Arm and non.
Nice one, boys.
he
I'm
went
off
to
sleep.
bed. So
Yeah, it's really late here.
it's 1 a.m.
Oh, you fucking bastard. It's like 8 a.m., yeah?
It's 8 a.m. for you?
No wonder I'm saying fucking silly shit. I can't fucking see.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to bed, like, what the fuck?
Alright, though, guys. I really am. I gotta get out of here, I guess, too.
Night, boys.
Especially if we're not
Been
live.
good, man. It's been
All right,
good.
night.
Same
Yeah.
time,
See you later,
same
Arthur.
place.
Yeah,
You know I'll be here.
for sure.
For
Yeah,
sure.
see you
Later,
later,
guys.
man.
And now it's down to, let's see.
Me and Prism. Oh no, hey, you're there.
I'm still here. We're like a
Jay,
trio
go to
now.
sleep. You're gonna kill yourself, man. You stayed up till like 8 a.m. last time.
I know, man. I got bad insomnia. Like, I'm alright. I'll have a few hours
Like
now.
we said, take some sleep, man. You gotta
Yeah,
try this
well,
stuff out. Take some CBD oil.
I don't even think I don't even think it's easily available to even get over there.
Oh yeah, I never thought about that. I literally just you can go and get it.
I mean, you can still find vendors. Oh, we got to come in, but he keeps on calling the wrong call.
who is that?
I know.
Oh, it's
Ronan.
Rage.
But I'll have to exit this call, and then we can't get this call back online.
Okay, let's stop the live stream real quick. Live streaming to our
who's streaming
page,
it, so I could try and get it stopped. I didn't think about it because I'm so half asleep. I didn't bloody think, did I? Yeah, just give me his name. Didn't think
there we
at
go.
all.
I'm trying to figure out how to do it right now.
If we all pay out of the thing, it'll turn itself off after 4 hours.
Yeah, but then people are gonna watch the live stream and be like, "What's this extra hour?"
Fuck it, we're trolling them there. They'll just be waiting, like, they'll be like, where'd they gone?
I think I'm gonna try and figure it out right now.
Or we could just
I'm just on the
leave us
page.
online and fall asleep. Me snoring?
Okay, you guys want to do your exits?
Yeah, alright.
Good night.
Great
This has
chatting,
been
man.
Prismatic. We're stream right now. Good night,
Alright,
guys.
cool.